Holmes, Brock Williams, Sober. What's popping, boys? Right, let me actually press this right button. Right, there we go. Why is it black screened? There we go. Right, we're working good. Let me do my usual shiznit. I need to... Where's the overlay? There's the overlay. Lovely stuff. Right. Hello, everybody. How we doing? Happy Monday. It is Monday today. We are going to be doing the old Czech Republic today. Don't know if we have any Czechs in chat at all. We do usually have one or two of each country that we go to in there. But yeah, we'll see how tonight goes. I think tonight's track, or tonight's racing, you're going to see a lot of crashes. Because the track tonight, by the way, hang on, listen. Oh, popping a cold one. And by cold one, I just mean a Fanta. The track is very difficult to go fast on. Fairly easy track just to ride around. It's soil today rather than a normal soft soil, so it's a little bit... It rides more like hard pack would in real life. And the usual, I guess, fast guys, I don't know how well they do when it comes to regulating the throttle a little bit. Now, the boys, they should just have been finishing up their qualifying right now, so I'll give it a couple minutes before all the times go up. My lap time that I put on Instagram and TikTok on the Suzuki without a setup was a high 135. Could have been a low 136 because I didn't see the exact time, but I went and retimed it again afterwards. So take of that what you wish. I would imagine the top 450 boys, if they go quicker than like a low 33, that's pretty nutty to me because it is a really difficult track. There's parts where I was just saying in Aerial Discord, if any of you are in Aerial right now, because there's a few... I don't know, complaint's not the right word. There's a few people that aren't the biggest fan of this soil type already, saying that like the traction, no bueno. And I believe that when it comes to tracks like this, the skill gap just goes up. And one key part of this track, for example, if I set a track marker right here. So, if you... We'll show you this part of the track first. If I come around here and we exit it, this whole right-hand side going up this hill is pretty damn like cupped out and choppy, but that's to make it so the outside isn't super OP. So you can go inside here and then hug the left and be smooth, or you can go outside and stay on the right and it be choppy, and it kind of works out very similar. So the reason I like this sort of traction is because if you come into this inside rut and try railing it as hard as possible like you would if it was soft soil, it's not going to go too well. Whereas if you go into it, just check up a little bit, be smooth, and then smooth on the power on the exit, you then get that grip the whole way up the left side. And I generally think doing stuff like that will be faster than just trying to hit everything wide open. And that's why I love just more slippery tracks in general on these games. It does create a bigger skill gap. Some people think that it makes it smaller because the ceiling is lower in terms of how fast you can go. But then I think on a section-to-section basis, if you hit a corner really well and smooth and roll on the throttle and get that traction compared to lighting the back end up, I think you actually gain more time. So I'm very, very curious to see how the racing goes today. So should be good. Should be good. Should be Gucci. I think there's a couple of viable lines in each corner, which has not really been the case on Lockett in the past. It's quite a hard track to make multiple viable lines for, just the way it's laid out. But I'm a big fan. I will tell you, when I was trying to do the lap earlier, I'll say earlier, last night, the amount of times I crashed trying to hit this corner wide open is unreal. So you've got 4 lines in this one corner here. You've got tight inside, and you've got this second one, which is the one that I think might be the quickest. You then got that third and fourth. But because you're trying to get into this rut here, you're going over all the chop as well, so the bike's dancing around underneath you. But again, it's just a case of having to be patient more than anything. Same with this downhill. Like if I try and hit this downhill wide open, like we've been able to in the past, the bike just won't take it. So you're going to have to be a little bit reserved today and be patient, take your time, and that's why I think the racing's going to be good fun. Should be good. Right, Tyler's on 132. Yeah, those lap times are pretty gross. I don't understand how they do it so quickly as well in such a short amount of time. Like, that is actually disgusting. Double unskippable ads. I'll be honest, Ballsy, I don't control the type of ad that it is. I just get to choose yes or no. If it was up to me, they'd all be the quick little skippable ones, but YouTube kind of does their own thing in that regard. So I do apologise that that does hinder your viewing experience a little bit. I have noticed that I'm getting, in videos that I watch, I'm getting more and more of those as well. And it does suck ass. It really, really does. Wouldn't be able to hit the corner wide open, be faster in the overall race. What do you mean? Obviously, yeah, if you hit anything wide open all the time, and it works, then yeah, it will be nice. But then if you crash every couple of laps because you're trying to hit it wide open, then you'll lose time. Realistically, if you check up and try and hit a corner smooth, you're losing 2 attempts max to hitting it wide open compared to the 3, 4, 5. It can be all the way up to like 10 seconds depending on how the bike rolls and flips when you crash. So I'm always a big advocate of trying to settle into more of a race pace and be smooth around a track more than anything. Who wins today? Very, very tough one to say. A lot of the races so far this year have been quite start dependent. I don't know if we've had a single moto yet this year where all 3 of the top boys have all got out of the gate well together. It always seems to be either one does and then 2 will be far back, or 2 of them will and then 1 will be really far back, and then it seems to flip around both motos as well. So say Cam gets a great start in the first one and then Rax and Tyler are down in the bin. The next race, Rax and Tyler might get a really good one, then Cam will be in the bin. So yeah, it's very start dependent so far this year, so really hard to call something like that, especially if they're all within like a second of lap time as well in qualifying. It'll be just as close on the actual racing. I think the track is going to be more tricky than anything just because it's one that you want to ride fast. It's very inviting to want to just crank the bike over and round the corner, but then it punishes you because of it. Oh, sorry, there you go. Stan went on top of that. So instead of a track with tight corners and tricky corners that you need to be smooth, would it create a bigger skill gap, a faster track, rather than one hard? No. No, not at all. It's so easy, you just hold the right trigger down and crank the bike over on this game. So, to kind of go off the back of that, if we look at Supercross times at the moment, when the tracks are easy and you can just hold the right trigger down and everyone's doing the same lines all the time and there's no need to check up and be patient or smooth anywhere, everyone's within 2 seconds of each other around a Supercross track, which is just disgusting. When in the outdoors, there's much bigger of a difference between, say, 1st and 40th in qualifying. So I always think that the trickier tracks will create better racing overall. So I think I always look at it from that you got 2 standpoints to look at these tracks on as well. You've either got the standpoint of you're a casual player that just likes downloading the tracks because they're replica tracks to play on, or you've got the people the tracks were made for, which is for pro racers. You know, and that's not to be disrespectful to people who aren't quote-unquote pros and do these races, but the tracks aren't built for those people. It's just it's made to be difficult for the best players in a pro series. So that's why I prefer the tracks being as hard as they can be, just to test people, really. I mean, there's so many tracks to release. And wait, is there AMS versions of this as well? Or are they not doing AMS versions this year? I can't remember off the top of my head. I know that's why they did start doing AMS versions in one of the years, because the people that were just a bit more chill were complaining about it. And it's hard to just say, well, these tracks aren't for you, because everyone can play whatever tracks they want. But it's like, if you're not competing in a pro series and complaining that pro tracks are too difficult, then there's something wrong there. You know, there's a breakdown in communication there and what to expect out of them. Even Stone said in the past, obviously not on this year's Supercross tracks, but in like previous outdoors tracks, for example, he just says like these tracks aren't made for the casual player. They're made to be difficult on, which I'm a fan of. And racing and qualifying are 2 completely different things. I think a lot of people do give their opinions and feedback on the track when they're trying to qualify. you know. And when you're trying to get every single nanosecond of time possible around a track, then you are going to crash quite a lot. It's then the racing that goes completely different. Oh, hang on. No, Ariel's not really... Ariel's not popping off. It's just people talking. So far, after qualifying, I've seen Cam and I've seen Aiden. And if you roll back to last week, they finished first and third, respectively. No, they finished second and third, respectively, in Moto 1. So they're pretty decent at the game, I guess you could say. They have both said this track is very difficult to go fast on, which is what is good. That's what you want. Hello, Sonny. Yeah, Kimper, I'd like to think so. I mean, people will gravitate to whichever game they prefer the most. But yeah, if the physics being good is very subjective anyway, because let's say the games like Hard and MX Simulator, for example, there's going to be a very niche market of people that think that's good. Whereas on the flip side, you've got people that think like Monster Energy Supercross is good in comparison to other games because that's just the kind of game they prefer. So I don't think Bikes is going to die as soon as MTG comes out. I don't think that nobody will ever play any other motocross game again because it's going to be a difficult game. So people that can put a bit more time into it and want to, I think will gravitate towards it more. And then people that want a bit of an easier time, maybe they've already put a bunch of hours into MX Bikes and they don't have the time to grind another game, they might stick on to MX Bikes. So I don't know. It's definitely worth... I don't know if they'll have like a demo at any point. That'll be interesting to see. But it's definitely worth giving it a go. I mean, I've enjoyed it so far. How heavy do you tend to brake when going down that steep downhill? I don't really. Let me turn... I'll show you an example of what I do. I need to turn this overlay off so you can see my controller for a second. So my thing is on this game, the more you brake, the more chance the bike goes all wonky. You notice on braking bumps that sometimes the bike will start like pitching itself and bouncing around, which a lot of the time is the cause of braking. So a lot of time I'll just start changing down gears and letting the engine braking do it for me. I will brake a little bit. I'll be honest, I don't actually know off the top of my head because a lot of it's just muscle memory and I just play the game. So if you pay attention to my left trigger as we go down this hill, I'll try and hit it to the best of my ability. And see how it goes. This is probably where I'm going to just absolutely wad myself. Oh, simple answer, I don't. I don't touch the brakes. I just get off the... Well, sometimes I even keep on the throttle a little bit and then just change down the gears and let the bike slow itself down. Because yeah, as soon as you start braking, that's when the bike's going to bounce around all over the place. Right, we'll take that off again, put that on. I'm just waiting to see when the... Tyler, if you've just sent me gear again. Can we get an L Tyler in chat, please? Because Blood keeps waiting until I go live to send me gear. And I feel like I have to download it because he's going to be towards the front of the race. That's it. Thank you, boys. L Tyler. I know. Outrageous behaviour from him. You sent it to me before. It's not that deep. Now I've got to close my game. Downloads. Copy. MX Bikes. Mods. Rider. Riders. Default. Paints. Paste. Close. Reopen game. Ah, you love to see it. Yes, you are correct, Mike. So slightly being on the throttle over the braking bumps, just like in real life, it does help a lot more. I have found, which is something that I used to do on MX Simulator as well, something else that really helps to keep the bike settled over braking bumps is if you accelerate and brake at the same time. It just seems to keep the bike just like a lot flatter and tracking forwards rather than getting bucked around. When did he send this, actually? He sent it 6 minutes ago, so I didn't miss it. He did genuinely send it after qualifying. What an absolute goober. Why is he the way he is? What else we got? I always like seeing the feedback in Ariel after qualifying's done, because it's either full of people saying love this or hate this. Yeah, seeing not qualifying, it's cooked, not a fan of this track. Can you just SYBAU? Leander doing Leander things. First downhill scares me. Yeah, that's understandable. A lot of people struggling with that downhill. Track is a challenge. No, it's just slippery. Well, yeah. So it's yep. Okay. So it is a challenge because it's slippery. Mr. Box says this is going to be wicked. Yeah, 32.4 is absolutely disgusting. You'll pay me a $5 for a Pro Yami 450 MX setup. Don't pay me because it's not my setup and I can't give it out anyway. Just pay Splash in the SPX Discord and then he'll make you one. Since that's what I use anyway. I don't qualify. I commentate these races. I don't race them myself. So qualifying finished 18 minutes ago. Which actually, should we do a quick check to see if the times have been compiled? I know sometimes they have like issues with servers and have to reset stuff. Let's do display cap. No, don't do display capture. Turn it off again because I need to log in. I really do wish that it kept you logged in forever on these websites. Do you mean password's incorrect? Oh, never mind, it's my old password. There we go. Overlay's massive. I had to... I mean, to be fair, yes, for when I'm riding, but when I'm doing the spectating, I don't think it's quite as obnoxious. It's only because it's blocking like the bike right now that it looks big. But I need it to be that size so the sponsors are visible. If I made that like even lower down, it would be really difficult to like read anything. I feel like you do have to give the people that sponsor the series some love as well, since they're the ones that contribute towards like prizes and all that good stuff. So I don't mind it too much. Hopefully it doesn't take away too much from... What am I doing? What day are we on? Why can I only see... Oh, there we go. It wasn't scrolling properly. Right. EU, MX1, Lockit, yep, right, race groups. So, we've got a lot of... Jesus Christ, there's so many Yamahas. W. Caden, by the way. W. Caden. Riding the 252 stroke still. You'll love to see that. So we will have another 252 stroke in the racing today. Rax has decided to move away from that. I don't think last week went quite as well as he would have wanted, and the championship points are a lot closer now. Yeah, can we... Let's have a look at the championship points before we start. I swear it's down to something like a 6-point difference. Which is, yes. So, Rax has a 6-point lead over Tyler, who has a 3-point lead over Cam. So, there is a world where any three of these top three can leave today with the points lead, which I think is pretty damn cool. And then we've got the Club MX orgy in 4th through to 7th. Breezy needs to step it up a little bit and overtake Pitt here, so then you can get the 5-man on the go. But you can see, if we look just through the results, it's like, there was Tyler's bad round, there was Rax's bad round, there was Cam's bad round, and then everyone's just kind of like switching back and forth between good rounds and bad rounds, and that's kind of what you want out of a championship. You don't want it just to be straightforwards and boring. I can't give you an exact ETA on the race starting. I am waiting for the servers to go up right now. There hasn't been an announcement about there being anything wrong with the servers at all, and we have the qualifying results in, so I'm just on standby, just waiting for the servers to go up, and then we'll get in there, and it usually only takes 5 to 10 minutes after the servers go up for the racing to start. Let's spin some laps at the same time. Do I have a ranking of the best 450s? No, I don't like using terminology of best and putting people in like 1st, 2nd and 3rd, for example, because every single round is different. The different track conditions are completely different as well. I mean, do you then favour people who are better at qualifying or people that are better than racing? There's so much that goes into it, and I never really see any point of doing that. I'll just say the best 3 in EU are the top 3 in the championship at the moment. And then NA, I don't know what about NA at the moment. I really don't pay enough attention to it. If you go onto MXB mods row and you search by free ride, then you should be able to get some big areas. But the limitations of this game stops you from making maps that are just disgustingly big, like the Sledders maps are. I think the only thing you could get is Krakenberg, but even then it's not like it's a free roam enduro, you kind of follow a set trail. Oh, have they just gone up now that I've backed out? Yes, they have. God damn it. What a pain in the bum. Right, let's hop our way into the servers. Nick says, MTG's got him excited. If nothing else, a proper in-game ranked system, rider ratings. Yes, no, I completely agree. I'd be nice. I hope they do it similar to how iRacing has it, so you've got a safety rating. So you have to be a certain level of respectable racing to race against the top boys as well. Because I don't do public lobbies in MX Bikes really anymore, unless they're my own ones on stream that I can control. Even if people have no idea it's me, if I change my name and go into a public lobby, I'll still get yeeted. I'll still get killed by randoms, like riding backwards, cutting across the track to kill people, and it happens on a very, very consistent basis, and there's no penalty for it, which is what kind of sucks. So I would like, unless you're hosting your own server, I would even like public playlists to have that safety rating involved. So if people are just yeeting people off the track, they can only then play in low safety rating lobbies as well. No, you've not missed any races yet, Turtle. You are late to qualifying, so I don't know if you were racing and you missed qualifying. If so, yes. But we are just loading in now to the races. So we'll be watching 450 Moto 1 and then 450 Moto 2. Where to get the FXR hat? Well, I got it for free because I'm sponsored, very luckily. Thank you very much, Grimane. Pepsi money. We're on the Fanta today. We're on the Fanta. But I do have a couple of empty cans on my desk. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, my man. But yeah, the FXR hat, fxrracing.com or .eu, depending on where you are from in the world. And if you get it from EU, you can get 15% off using code MXPR_lins15 at checkout. Love the selfless plugs. We love it. No, I don't race these races, Oxy. Yeah, for all of the EU GP races that we've had so far this year, I've just been commentating them. And I can't disclose much information, but there will be another series in the near future that I'm going to be commentating as well, which I'm very, very excited for. Oh my god, you see how much we're lagging as people are joining the lobby? Right, we're good now. We're good. Did Troy qualify? That is a good question. I don't know. Let's have a look. Did Troy qualify? Let's stop if we see the Jan. I do not see a wild Jan on here, so I'm going to guess he's a bit busy with schoolwork. I think the schoolwork is an excuse. I think really he's trying to grind out some PGA, because I absolutely whooped his ass last time and now he wants to play me again. So I think that's the real reason. He just wants to try and beat me in golf. I didn't reply to him, actually. I need to, but this was the last conversation I had with Troy. It was, when can we 1v1 on PJ again? Get ignored. And then he came back the next day saying, you are very scared. So I'm not scared. I beat you last time. What do you mean? Hang on, let's just reply to another DM whilst I'm at it. Where's the... I can't find it. Hang on, we're doing some scrolling. Got to try and find the exact emoji that I need to use. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. I'll just type it. It's okay to them. Right, there we go. So, then we get all the buttons. So, tab does that. That brings up people's names. So, all we are doing, we are just waiting. Oh my... I'm hoping this is from people joining and I'm not just getting bad FPS flying around here. It's been very, very warm in the UK the last, like, week or 2 weeks, and I'm scared that I've been putting my PC through the ringer a little bit. Because it gets... It's like a sauna in this room. It's a tiny, tiny little room. And you can imagine the PC heating everything up and then trying to cool itself down at the same time. I'm hoping that was just from people joining. Should be okay. It feels fairly smooth right now. So, let's have a look, see what gears we're rocking with. We've got... what is BPA? Believe, perform, achieve. Okay. See, Tiger Nose is on stream already. He's in here, he's tuned in, he's watching. I've even got the lid as well. I didn't even realise I had a showy helmet. Fair enough. Unless it's a free one on mods and they included it in their pack. What is this, a club bike? 27? I think. It can't be the club bike, there's no Club MX stuff on it. Who's number 27 in this? I thought 27 was Aiden, or that might just be Supercross. Who is this? There's no name on it at all. Do I know who this is? Should comment the Kyle Hawkey Arena Cross series. I think it's a bit too late for me if it's... Kyle's from the US, isn't he? No, my frames are awful round here, by the way, boys. Let me... oh, I think I know why. I think it's because I've got 3D grass turned on. Which usually is good for showcasing these tracks, but it does take a bit of a heavy toll. Oh, Jesus Christ. Punching the microphone. Oh, no! Boys, I've messed up. Oh, no, it didn't press it. Oh, thank God. I thought I pressed join at the bottom right. No, it's fine. I'm still in spectator. Oh, God. Oh, that froze at the perfect time. I was about to ruin everything. Steal someone's escape position. No, it's still pretty damn laggy. I'm hoping this doesn't carry through to the race. I don't think he cares, Sonny. I don't think he cares at all. Right, settings. I mean, stuff is quite high, but I know if I change stuff now, it'll probably... screw it. We'll do it. We'll do it. If it boosts the game, I'll leave and rejoin. I've had a few times in my MXBGP career of having to wait for the commentators to sort their shit out, so it's my turn this time. Oh, okay. Thank you, Wes. I had no idea about that. I didn't know it could just force me to constantly spectate. That's good to know. That was just pure muscle memory. Oh, let's just go to the track now. I can't do that. I'm commentating. Out of the 2023 GP tracks, I don't actually have any of them in my game anymore, Sonny, so I can't remember which ones there are. There is no race for Group D. There is a Group A and a Group B race only. And there's not even usually a Group B race, it's just because Wes is testing some stuff tonight. But yeah, it's usually only the top 40 get to race. Right, let's see if that's any better. Now we've got the anti-aliasing up. Oh, I love MX bikes. I'm so sorry, Wes and Meat Pie. I have to close and reopen my game because the game just doesn't like you changing any graphics settings when you're in it because it goes completely boofed. I'm sorry. I hate being the reason that things get delayed. I just wanted the stream to look good. I'll be as quick as I can. It doesn't usually take me too long to load in, but yeah, we can't be spectating a whole race when the track's boofed. No one's using 27 as their in-game number. Oh, that is very confusing. No idea. It is actually sad how long this game takes to load now, isn't it? It's not just me. It's a 39 good on round 7. I don't know, to be honest. I would have thought a 39 would have had you higher than Group D, though. I knew I was going to get this comment at some point today, Embrez. Thoughts on Deegan and Davies. Depends which way you look at it. I think the Deegan Glazers will love it, and the Deegan non-enjoyers will not like it. My opinion, and again, please note, these are just opinions. Like, there is no right or wrong. You're allowed to say your thing, I'm allowed to say my thing. I am of the opinion that there was no need for it. Like, it's your teammate. It's not the last lap. It's not the last round. It's a little bit unnecessary. And then I see a lot of people showing the clip of Osborne on Savachi back in Vegas in the day. But then I don't think they're the same thing at all, because then it's last lap is for the championship, not teammates. And I feel like there's two completely different levels. But the fact that you could even hear on the broadcast how much booing there was in that stadium, bearing in mind the person you've just run off the track isn't even from the US. And I know how patriotic the US people are, so the fact you're still getting booed, I think is quite a telling sign. Then at the end of the day, it is motocross, and Rubbin is racing, and Cole did leave the inside open. And if the gap's there, you go for it. I just think you could have given a little bit more room to your teammate, who is supposedly your friend as well. And to be fair, I don't think Deegan had any intention of getting Cole stuck to the point where Cole drops back to 5th and Deegan gets the championship. Like, that wasn't the intention at all. I just think it was, I don't know, a bit of a shit scenario. I think it was more unlucky than anything for Cole of where Cole went off the track to get stuck. Because I think anywhere else on the track he'd be absolutely fine. But it did suck to watch that. I didn't like it really at all, because I'm a bit of a Cole glazer, so in my opinion it'll be quite biased on that. Right, can we see who that number 27 was now? We've got 57, 29, 1. Tyler's quite far out to the middle. He's risking. We've got 2 Tylers. Who's this? Who is John Skvidmoto X Raymond is on the Tyler J bike. Oh, they've re-racked him. I'm sure chat will have reasonable takes. People, the only issue that you have these days is people want a yes or no answer from you. Like, you have to be 100% all in on one side. You're not allowed to look at both sides of an argument. So you can't be like, okay, on one hand, you didn't need to take your teammate out. There's a whole nother round. You have a big points lead. And then on the other hand, you can go, well, the gap was there, Cole left the door open. You can't do that. People want to be like, no, Deegan's an arsehole, or yes, Deegan's God. Like, you can't ride the fence at all. You have to be very opinionated these days. I don't know. Does Deegan move up next year, or is he allowed to stay in 250s for another one? Because he hasn't won a Supercross chip. Well, he has now, but I think he's allowed to defend, isn't he? Still a little bit. Oh, it's not as bad as it was. Yeah, we've got two Tyler J's in this lobby today. There you go. There's the club bikes. I'll be honest, boys, because I know I was in it. I think you should just run the Matley skins for the rest of the year. I think they were the best ones. There, we've got 2 Tylers next to each other, chilling. It'd be, actually, it could be free if I actually joined the lobby, because I was running the Tyler bike for my laps earlier. He's got to move up for our outdoors. Oh, okay. I'm very curious to see how that goes, because I don't see many people having logical conversations about that. People just think, oh, he's going to move up and dominate, and I can't see that happening. I think if you put both of them two on the same track, not even like glazing Jet either, I think Jet wins quite comfortably. And not so much from a skill level, I think it's more from how they ride bikes. I think Deegan's riding style will change when he moves up to a 450. Because he's very animated on the bike, and I don't think that can last too long on a 450 before you hurt yourself. Like, I think he has to smooth it out a little bit, which he probably will do. You know, he's a very, very talented rider, and pros adapt to things quite quickly. I just don't think it's going to be that instant, oh my god, he's insane straight away that people think it might be. God, what's going on? If this lags too much during this, boys, I do apologise. I'm just going to have to try and whack it into the normal cameras or try turning... Oh, actually, yeah, I can turn down. Turn this down to high rather than very high. Could just be my PC having a bad day. Need to turn it off and leave it off for a while. So there we go. This is the lovely pink gear that Tyler made me download. So we've got that. We've got Tyler V2. He's got Tyler's gear on as well. So funny. Fair enough. I mean, you've got two team names in your name and you don't have gear. Right, who's number 27 before the gate drops? Oh, it's Yoku. Okay. Right, revs up. Let's see who's going to get the whole shot today, gamers. We're going to take this off just for the start so we can see as much as we can. Right, gates down. I will also put up 450 Moto 1 at the top left in a second. Tiger has been getting great jumps recently. Drifts quite wide into this first turn. That 252 stroke got a great jump there from Caden. I'm surprised he was there on quite a long straight. So I said, before these races started, that we've not had a race so far where all of the top boys have had good starts, but we have now got Tyler, Cam, and Rax all within now the top 10. It was top 5. Tyler had a little bit of a mistake there. Aiden getting yeeted over this little tabletop. Boy going down as well. The Club MX boys that crashing left, right, and centre. And we are now going racing. So Rax has the early lead. He's rocking the Christmas hat, joining Cam. Moto Academy boys celebrating it a little bit early. So I'm very curious to see what lines these boys are taking, especially to get lap times as quick as they were. And it's a bit weird now between these boys, because now they're on the same team. Realistically, you shouldn't really be taking your teammate out at all for points. But we'll see if it happens in-game, the same way as it does in real life. I mean, Rax is, I think, just planning to set sail right now. He's zooming so far. I didn't look to see how far behind Cam was in qualifying off the back of that, but I don't think this race is... Just as I was speaking, I don't think this race is going to be about setting 32s every lap. This race is going to be you can stay up on the bike. Is that I thought it was a gasser for a second because I saw the blue. Right, let me do 450 Moto 1. There we go. Right, we're back in business. So, very curious to see what lines everyone takes up this uphill. And it seems like everyone's filtering to the outside right now. No one really risking trying anything different. One thing that is very easy to do is not get your rear wheel slotted into this outside. Oh, Reed's in a world of pain. That bike's just rolling. He's going to have trouble getting on the track again. So, Reed... That's very unfortunate. That's not a good place to crash. It's quite hard to get going again. Reed's in a lot of pain right now. Jamie's also struggling a little bit, I'll be honest. Team Fury Esport. I thought Team Fury was a Brazilian org, wasn't it? Although bro doesn't look like he's lagging at all. We got Olma's in last place. Right. So these boys going across the line on lap 1. Rax now already has a very comfortable lead. His lead is... Why is this not working? There we go. He has a 6.5 second lead already at the end of lap 1. So this could hold on to it, but I love seeing some Fantic love, by the way. We don't see it too often, but... Oh, that's an awful place to crash. Oh, he's gone all wobbly. He's going to have to push this at some point, surely. No, he gets just enough speed to get going again. Love that. So, oh, fake Tyler is sat back here in P10 as well. The only downside, because I know I'm a soil glazer, not a soft soil glazer as such. The only downside when the traction is slipperier is the wheel spin when you're at a really low speed. So if you do crash on the uphill to something, it's very difficult to get going again. So, right, let's move. Let's have a little look at some battles that are going on. We've got always attached to the hip, Jake and Aiden on top of each other again. These boys, I think they must get in a Discord call with each other and just talk and be like, right, I'm in this position, wait for me. Because they are always side by side. Aiden got some body armour on, I see. I actually quite like the look of that. That's quite nice. Quite litty titty. So these boys are in 3rd and 4th place right now. Cam going off the track again. Not what he wanted. And you boys know I love Cam, by the way. Fellow countryman. Went to Italy with him, went to Qatar with him for the reward for the Italy trip. And I said before the racing started today, this is going to be a track that Cam will be very quick on, but go rolling down a hill every couple of laps. And so far, that has been true. So we'll see if that carries on. But yeah, he's almost 9 seconds behind after 2 laps. Rax has absolutely set sail. So Jake and Aiden doing their thing. We got Brits in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Maybe 5th? I don't know where JS7's from. Tiger's having a really good race so far after he got that whole shot. He's still sat back here in P6. We have the 2-stroke. Oh my god, what's going on here? Oh, there's a bit of carnage. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know how Caden survived that. That was so sketchy. But Caden's alive. We've got a 2-stroke up here inside. Boys. Tyler's going down as well. He tries to get going again as Tyler V2 goes up the inside of him. This hill is very sketchy, by the way. These boys come bombing down here so fast and the bike's just dancing underneath them. I personally decided to stay away from these ruts on the outside after a while. I went where Quacks just went. I tried to go far inside here because it's a lot smoother and you're not asking as much of the bike. So we'll see if anybody starts moving towards that. Because of how this track's laid out, I don't know how the road's going to go. Because there's not a whole lot of stopping and starting. And once you're actually in the ruts themselves aren't too choppy. They're actually fairly smooth. So I think if people keep the throttle on the whole way around them, unless people do what Hux just did there, there's no reason that these ruts can get too chewed up to where you'll have to change line a whole bunch. It should be fairly straightforward. Let's go forwards a little bit more. What place is Danny in right now? Danny's in 15th at the moment. We've then got Fish in 14th. We've got B-Tech Rex in 13th, moving up to 12th now. Boy having a couple of issues early on in this race as well. Tyler's having a lot of issues right now. So you got about a P5 start, got caught up in a little bit of traffic in the first few corners. He's now finding himself just outside the top 10 as he goes up to the inside. I'm not sure why Rux went so wide there. You really don't have to. You can just hug the inside and then drift out wide into that little rut that's been pre-made for you. Tyler's going to have to get a little bit of a charge on. Again, don't think he was on elevated last week. So new recruit, question mark, but he's on elevated right now. As he's going to work his way through all the chop over the finish line. Super easy to overjump this finish line. And these boys using the outside there. Not something that I tried too much, to be honest. He's going to step down the hill. Where does he go here? He's taking inside. Yep, smart move. I like that. I like that quite a lot. So he's in 11th place still. He has got fake Tyler in front of him. So we've got Tyler 1 here, and then we've got Tyler 2 just behind. A lot of people struggling with this rut right now. And by the way, one of my first ever videos that popped off was a screenshot from this exact position about 4 years ago on the old version of Lockett that we had in this game. Lynn's Law. You didn't know you needed it, but now you do. I've noticed, so in the 250 class, at the start of Supercross season especially, Yoku was so fast. And that transition to the 450s on outdoors so far just hasn't really been hitting for him. Looks like he's been struggling a little bit. And I don't know if that is just not knowing the bike too well, or if he just doesn't play as much anymore, but he's been struggling. He's been back a little bit. Marley not having a great time so far. He's been having some good races at the start of this season. You got... Oh, he's hit that. If you didn't watch my video earlier, by the way, you'll see we've got these off-the-track square edge bumps as well. And these that stop people from scumbagging it and trying to get out of the rough stuff by going offside the track. I'm a big fan of those. Let's go towards the front a little bit, because I do see... There's Rax. He's still got an 8-second lead. Aiden and Jake are quite close together, and Aiden's actually overtaken Jake right now. And there he is. He's just in front of his brother. So I'm not sure if that was a mistake by Jake, or if Aiden's put the hammer down a little bit. Jake choosing to go up the inside there. Like, look how much smoother that was. Not asking too much of the bike. Bike's just chilling. I think both of these two will do well today, just because of their overall riding style. They're a lot smoother on the bike than some of the top boys that will try pinning it everywhere. These boys, especially Jake, a bit of a higher gear, lugging the bike around, smooth in, smooth out, all that good stuff. And they're doing a good job of it right now. Sat inside, both inside the top 5. Both been getting better and better as the season's gone on. Both putting in some solid results. Good stuff. 100 US dot... 100 for a win? Jesus Christ. I mean, I'd say sign me up, but I don't win anymore, so it'd be pretty pointless. I wouldn't earn any money. But, oh yeah, fair play. Whoever runs Elevated is very passionate about MX bikes, clearly, to pay $100 for a win. Just to have some names in a game. Crazy stuff. Anyway, Cam has actually been closing the gap a bit to Rax right now. So, going off the back of what I said earlier even more, he is the fastest man on track right now. He just decides to throw it off the edge of the track a little bit every now and then. But he's chasing. And I don't know if that is mistakes from Rax, or if that is just Cam's pace is better overall so far. I want to stay on board with him just for a little bit, because quite often I will be praising him, and then I'll look away for a second, and then I'll come back and he's crashed. So I want to watch the crash in action right now as we're watching it. I mean, he is zooming. He lost a bit of time to Rax that lap, actually. It was 7.4, and it's 7.7 over the line. So maybe just a couple of mistakes from Rax, maybe a slide out here or there, a bit slow up one of the hills from some wheel spin, but so far so good. I mean, these two, having a 20-second lead over third after 9 minutes of a race is pretty gross, but Jake and Aiden getting quite close together now. We'll try and stay on board with these for a little bit, see if anything unfolds. I mean, I think these are the last two that you expect any sort of drama between. I don't think either of them are going to be trying to take each other out at all. So they'll probably just sit behind each other, wait until a pass opportunity's there, and then go through. Maybe wait for one to crash, and then the other one just sails past. And there's probably a chance they'll go back and forth quite a lot over the course of this race. And I've noticed my camera skills right now are severely lacking. I don't know why. I'm guessing it's all of the elevation changes on this map as well. It's not just flat and straightforward. It's having to go up and down all at the same time. Everyone kind of filtering into the same lines so far, which I'm very, very shocked by. I mean, at least in my testing, I didn't feel like there was one massively OP line compared to the others, but so far, not seeing too much erode in any other lines. Whereas all of... Oh, Jake getting a bit sketchy there. That was just slippery. Turned on the face, back wheel stepped out. Whereas all of the other rounds so far this year, there has been a lot of different lines used. We always have a little fly around on top of the track at the end of each moto, and you can see multiple lines in use. Same as like going around the outside there, for example. I didn't even try that. So it does go to show how people learn from each other. But if I see these top boys taking certain lines, then of course I'll take them as well. Tyler's putting on a good charge right now after that pretty mid-start. He's given himself a lot of work to do though, because he is 33 seconds down off the lead. I don't see a world where he catches up to the front. I do, however, see a world where he does some very good damage limitation and puts himself in third place in this race, as we are now completing the 10-minute mark. Everyone's still choosing to go around that outside right there. I think a lot of people are just choosing to go around the safe lines more than anything, because it's so easy to try and go through some of these insides over the chop and the bikes step out from underneath you. So I guess they're just trying to stay away from the rough stuff as much as possible. But it's like sections like this, these ruts and these bumps are going to start getting deeper and deeper and deeper throughout the course of the race. So I'm very intrigued to see if people do start changing up their lines. I mean, look how fast these boys are going. To try and keep up this sort of pace for this long as well is very, very impressive stuff. And what is even more impressive is Mr. Pitt right here, chinning in P6 on the old Fantic. So I do think we need some more Fantic appreciation. Everyone glazes Yamaha, and I believe the Fantic is actually faster in a straight line. The only downside I ever saw when I rode it was the front end, once the track gets eroded, does start to get a little bit funky. But up until that point, absolute weapon of a machine. Like, really, really good stuff. So Tyler and Pitt, they're kind of on each other there. Not a battle as such, they're just kind of training each other. Let's go further back, give some love to the people further back. Got Mike up here as well, who... no idea who it is. I don't know if it's someone that usually runs a different name that is now changed to a completely new one, but I've never seen it before, ever. I got no clue who this is, but he's doing well. He's chilling in P7 right now. We've got Boy back here as well in P8, Jay is 7 in P9, and Joe Motorbike, aka Janov, in P10 right now. We got the two-stroke of Caden. He's still out there. He's still barking. If Caden is... there's a lot of Cadens in this community. If it's KW in Discord, oh my god, aggressive move from Pumpakasu there. Caden barely survives, cross jumps him. I wouldn't say that was I wouldn't say that was undeserved. That was a very aggressive block pass that Pump went for in the corner before. But yeah, if Caden is KW in Discord, I didn't download his gear because I thought he was riding NA rather than EU. So I do apologise, Caden. Maybe next time. But yeah, really good stuff. He's in P12 right now on the old two-stroke machine, just behind Tiger, who has dropped down to the 11th spot after his whole shot earlier. Them two keeping it clean going into that corner. Pumpakasu wasn't on the ground for very long. He's up and going already. Kazi lagging his titties off so far back here in the 13th position, and HM back in 14th. Marley is in points still, so not the end of the world, but he'll probably want in a little bit better in Moto 2. Quack's rocking the Husky as well. He's in points. Ruck's up here as well. Login laps, Cooper, and then Yoku is there in 19th. So, I mean, everyone's fairly spread out so far. Not too much going on in the way of battles. I think there's a little bit of follow the leader, but when the track does get quite beaten up and brutal, a lot of people will be battling the track rather than battling each other. There's our race leader. Oh, how? I don't understand how he doesn't crash in some of these situations. If my front end would wash and I'd go rolling down that hill, but he just manages to survive and keeps it going. And that is the difference a lot of time between these fast boys and not so fast ones, is the fast boys can go fast and save it when it goes wrong, and the not so fast boys can go fast and then crash. So that is the difference maker. He just survives stuff like that. So he's still got, before he went down again, he's still got an 8-second lead over Cam here in P2, and they have already got into lappers. That is really, really quick to be getting into lappers this early on, and a lot of them as well. There's 3 different lappers there that these boys have had to negotiate their way around. 4 actually, as the other Cam goes past right there. Then we have to go a little bit further back. We have another... so here we go. We've got John from SK Vidmoto, and we have Mike from SK Vidmoto. Neither of the two have I ever seen before. They must have changed their names to just generic white boy names. But they're both running Tyler's bike. And John has seen that he's on stream and he's now after some attention. Or he's just trying to jump out of the way of the leader, who is the actual real Tyler. So very interesting stuff. Yeah, Tyler's now up into the P3 spot, basically as I thought he would be. And he should probably stay there for the rest of this race. Maybe he'll drop back to 4th at some point from a crash, but I think by the time the checkered flag comes out, he should very, very comfortably finish inside that top 3 position. So we have got Jake now demoted to P4. Aiden's gone back to P5, so the twins have... That's not Aiden, Jesus Christ. So the twins have switched position at some point in this race. Probably a crash on Aiden's behalf, as he almost goes off the edge of the track there, getting a little bit sketchy. Where's our race leader? Cam's coming down the hill. Cam has closed that gap down. So we did notice a couple of mistakes there coming out of Rex. And if he keeps making them, 5.5 seconds is not a lot of time. If he just doesn't save one of those at some point and goes down, that's 5.5 seconds just in one crash. I mean, I had it before when I was just testing the track before release. The first downhill, after going over the finish line, I crashed there and my bike just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. I thought it was Limp Bizkit at one point. It was rolling that much to the bottom of the hill. So that's an easy 10+ second crash just in one little mistake. It shows how quickly things can go away from you around here. But these boys are just coming through so many lappers now. There's another 3 that Rax has just dispatched of, Jay Talon being the last one he got past. Ulmer's having a good little comeback so far. Oh my god, Ulmer's sticking in it. Should probably have looked over his shoulder and heard the limit of Rax. So, I mean, Rax still working his way through. He didn't get affected by that. Ulmer's the one that ended up getting into the bows right there. But can't hate on it too much. If the leader's coming through, the leader is coming through. So he's, I mean, he's going about it. He's setting to work. Hasn't been as... like perfect as he was at Sardinia, for example, when he got the lead there and just disappeared and just gapped everybody by like a minute. So this track is proving to be a little bit more difficult. And I like that the tracks that we've had so far this year have had different characteristics to them and different reasons for being difficult. So Sardinia is difficult because it's sand traction, you've got these big rollers that you've got to try and wheelie and double your way through, try and carry as much corner speed as possible. This is different because it's got super choppy bumps, fairly deep ruts, and slippery traction as well. So you have to be good at everything, really, to do well in this championship. And I think that's what these Pro Series need, is a reason for people to say, yes, I am the champion. Not just being good at one thing and then doing that on repeat each week. So those two are going to go through. The gap keeps kind of yo-yoing between those two. But we can see, oh my god. Fair play. I mean, Buddy was jumping down that hill and he survived it no problem. We've got a long way back. We've got almost 30 seconds back to Tyler back here. And Jay is keeping him honest. And that's what I've noticed out of the two twins, especially at Matterley, now rolling into this round as well. They're not as much off the pace as they have been in the past. So it does give them a chance to hang on to the back of these top boys and battle for a little bit longer. Whereas in the past, I feel like they would have just been passed and then gapped, but then just carried on doing their own speed. Now they are hanging in it a little bit longer, which is nice to see. So there's Jake, there's Aiden. Let's go further back, see if we've got any battles. Pitt still sat in the 6th spot. Mike in 7th. Oh, actually, Joe and Mike are having a good battle there. Let's go forwards to this one. Let's watch this for a little bit. So this is your battle for the 7th place right now. So very, very good positions from these boys. Janov going up the inside. That was a super clean pass. Really nice. And that just shows the difference. Like I don't think the inside's the best line there. I do think middle's the best, but he just took it so much smoother, carried that momentum through, didn't come into the corner at too tight of an angle, slam on the brakes, just really smooth, kept that corner speed, kept that momentum up, and just went up the inside of Mike there, no problem at all. So now Mike's going to chill on the back as well, see if he can make a counter pass at all. Everyone's still choosing to go around the outside at the bottom of that hill. Again, I think that's more for safety than anything. So the inside is quick, it's just a lot more difficult to get it well, to make it quick. And everyone choosing to sneak up the inside. I think this is more to open up this next corner. Keeps you on the left side of the track, which is where you want to be. Much harder to do that if you go around the outside in the left-hander before it. I'm liking watching these boys going around on the pegs as well. Just really smooth, almost like a European style of riding, rather than sitting down and just tanking your way through it Tomac style. A lot more finesse in it when you stand up on the pegs and just try and be smooth on the throttle. So them two going at it. Boy just chilling off the back of this, so if these two in front getting into each other, that's going to promote Boy from 9th all the way up to 7th in one fail swoop. This bit, right, if you haven't ridden the track yet, doesn't look too bad, but if you imagine, if you're jumping off one of these singles into these braking bumps, it can be so easy for the back end to kick around. So you can see these boys being patient, shutting off early, taking their time, and you love to see it. Very, very smart heads-up racing so far. Ols has just informed me that they have got all of their Club MX riders inside the top 10 right now. I have noticed no appearance from the young Breezy in this race today. So one of the Club MX riders out. No idea what it is. Maybe he's got some homework. Who knows? But yeah, Breezy not racing today by the looks of it. Have a look at the times. Cam's still about 6 seconds off the back here. We have still got this Joe, Mike and Boy battle that is brewing. I mean, it was brewing. Has Boy gone down? Yeah, Boy went down. So now got JS7 and Boy going at it side by side, dropping down the hill here. And that's a very common theme that it's super easy to wheelie off of this jump by mistake. But as long as you get your timing right, you shouldn't go over the handlebars, which is the key thing. Looks like the box in P2, Mr. Cam, has gone down, unfortunately. He is dropped down from 6... He's gone down again. So in one lap, the lead has gone from 6 seconds to 20 seconds, which I'm pretty sure Rax is very, very happy about. We'll try and find him on the track. That's Pump Picasso. Where is Pump on the track? Pump's all the way down in 16th. He was quite high up earlier. He's in a battle with Marley right now. Marley going up the inside of him. Pump deciding just to move him out of the way. And I have noticed as this season's gone on, Pump is quite an aggressive racer. Like, if that door is open, he will go for it. So I don't know if there's a little bit of shenanigans at play right now, or both choosing to go around the outside. I mean, hey, Marley had the inside, had the line there. He was on the inside of Pump going into that corner. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I don't think Pump's going to be very happy with that pass, I'll be honest. I mean, it's more of a racing incident. No one's at fault there. Both tried getting in the same line. But, yeah, I don't think Pump expected anyone to be taking that outside. I think he was just trying to route around it. So he's struggling a little bit. Pump very good in... Oh, look at this. 4 wide in one corner. This is... I mean, the racing back here for 20th is better than the racing for first. Let's just have a little watch of this. I mean, Pump is very, very good in the Supercross. But the outdoors is where he struggled just a little bit. But I do associate him with being more for hot laps than actual race pace, as he'll always be right near the top, if not the top of qualifying. And then the races doesn't quite go so much that way. And I think he just tries going too fast at all times. Oh my Christ. I mean, Rex is trying... didn't even realise our race leader's trying to get through this gaggle of lappers right now. He's going to try and go down to the outside here. Reed checking up not to take him out. Kazi going flying off the track. Rex getting the old twofer up the inside of Kazi and Cooper at the same time. I mean... but... okay, so I think Kazi just hard reset and it teleported him in front of everybody else on the track. I mean, that's quite lucky for him. If he so I think the hard resets might be a bit boofed around here, and I'm not sure how you go about fixing something like that. It's something this game has always had a problem with. But I mean, yeah, quite a lucky respawn there for Kazi. I'm hoping that it still counts as lap times and it's not teleported him too far up the road. But yeah, I mean, crashed before Mechanic Straight, got teleported to the end of it with a hard reset. You can't be too unhappy with that. So Rex successfully manages to negotiate his way through all of these lappers. We are now going to watch Pump Picasso going about 10 mile an hour up this whole hill, because he's just wide open on the throttle rather than trying to feather it to get some traction. We are going to try and watch Mr. Cameron Box work his way through these lappers now. Surely both the leaders don't get through all 6 of those lappers that cleanly again. Surely not. That's not how it's going to work. He would never go that smoothly. He's going to take his time, filter to the inside there. It looks like those lappers are spreading themselves out a little bit now, so it's not like he's trying to pass 4 people in one corner. Pump trying to get going again. Yoku trying to get past him, just runs into the back of him. Yeah, this is... I mean, I know it's very different me saying in the booth commentating rather than being down on the ground racing. I feel like some of these boys just really do need to use their heads a little bit more. A crashing's one thing, everybody crashes, it is what it is. But if you're then sat there just banging it off the limiter, wheel spinning in second gear, not moving anywhere, like just half throttle it or quarter throttle it or change up a gear and start bogging it a little bit to get going. It's just so much easier. And I think that's something that, especially the new gen of players, they haven't had to do before. They haven't really had to take their time or be patient anywhere. Whereas the older boys, maybe they was around in like Beta 17 era, when the game was the slipperiest it's ever been ever, a little bit better on the throttle control. And I think that's something that people should practice a little bit more, is working on that throttle control, because it can gain you so much more time if you're tracking rather than wheel spinning. But Cam's making fairly light work in these lappers. It seems like every lapper that he gets to kind of crashes or gets out of his way. So, I mean, respect to him, he's doing a decent job. That gap's gone from 20 seconds down to 17 and a half, but Rex will just be in management mode right now. He's just going to chill for the rest of this race and then bring it on home. I mean, we've still got some great battles. I mean, this is a battle for points right now. This is a battle for 20th between Kazi, Quacks, Marley and Pump. I mean, Marley and Pump got together in this exact same corner last lap. But you can see how much these boys are sending it. I I mean, they're mixed it up now, to be fair. A lot of people are going inside. Seems like a lot of these other boys are trying to go around the outside now, which is different. And there's just so many bikes on the track in the same place at the moment. Don't know who's on the lead lap and who's not. Dark getting a bit sketchy. Yoku, very brave move from Yoku there, trying to cut over to the inside. Kazi still lagging his titties off. He goes down. So, I mean, Cam's, he's working his way through them. He's dispersing of them fairly quickly. Quacks is... Hey, what's going on? Oh, Marley... I think Marley's got quite a few cuts. Because I thought this was a battle for 20th. Oh no, it's Pumpakasu that's got a disgusting amount of cuts. So Pump's just gone down again. Very interesting track entry, like just stick to the left, there was no reason to go right. Yeah, Pump's got like 5+ seconds, because he was in front of all these, but it still said he was in 20th. So that's... I mean, it says he's behind all of these. It even says he's just in front of Yoku, actually. So loads of cuts coming in. Got a little battle going up here as well, between Joe and Pitt. This is a battle for P7 right now. Other Cam trying to do his best job possible to get out of the leader's way. I think he's doing a fairly good job of that. Good heads up riding. And both of these boys, that is a lapper right there. Huck's just behind them two. Nice line from Pitt there. Goes out wide, cuts back down, gets a bit of drive coming out the corner. That's something that I've noticed with the Fantic. It does hook up really, really nicely. And Pitt done a lovely job there of cutting underneath. I think Joe might have dived to the inside first to make the pass, then Pitt came back underneath afterwards. But that was really good stuff. Got to give the two-stroke some love whilst it's still out here as well. He's in P11 right now, just outside of a top 10, which for a two-stroke, you can't be unhappy with whatsoever. He's doing a very, very good job. I'm not sure if he is riding a little bit loose or if it's just the ping. I believe Caden is from the US, so he's going to have some higher ping in these servers. We know how the third person works in this game when you're spectating. HM doing his thing. He's in P12. He's made some moves from earlier on in the race. Jamie, I believe there is a lap down. Rack's working his way through, lapping Tiger. So these boys have lapped... They've lapped 13th place right now, so they're coming up to lap in P12. Reed working his way through. He's in 15th. Not as good of a race that he's having so far as he had at Matterley last week, but still some decent points. Cam comes through as well. Cam has gained some time back on Rax. He's now down to 13 seconds behind, but nothing crazy. And I mean, look at all these boys still going at it again. This is for around about the 16th, 17th spot. So that's 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th, all on top of each other. Pumpakasu just sending it to flat. I mean, the bike took... Oh my goodness. This is very racy back here, boys. This is stressing me out. I'm losing all of the hair that I had re-implanted. I'd actually be fuming if I was one of these riders and people were racing me so aggressively, but these boys want it back here. They are going for it. Oh my Christ, there's so much like crossing over. Is Pump going to do him dirty? Moves all the way over from the right to the left, gives him no room on the track. Just yeeting his way into some of these corners. I mean, you can see how fast he's going. He has leader pace. I think it's just a little bit too fast to be sustainable, which is why he finds himself back here battling for single-digit points. Like, Yoku's going to be fuming about that. I swear these two are friends. I've got no idea. No idea what's going on there. I mean, some of these passes are just maybe a little bit too aggressive. I would be surprised if there wasn't any sorts of protests going on here. I know Yoku's finished. I thought Pumpakasu was finished as well, but I swear it said like Belgium or something in qualifying before when I had a look, which, if so, Belgium will have quite a good team, but I thought he was finished. Maybe he just changed it for some reason on there, no idea. Goes up the inside of Quacks. See, that was a good pass. I absolutely railed up the inside of Quacks there. Gets a little bit sketchy in the next corner though. He's now going to be gaining on, probably trying to pass Marley for like the 3rd or 4th time this race. Is Quacks going to go up the inside? Yeah, he does. Boys, I'll be honest, I've got no idea what's going on back here. This is a bit sketchy. He puts his hand up to say sorry. I don't think it was intentional. I think he didn't expect Pumpakasu to brake and try checking under so hard, but it wouldn't surprise me to see a pass in retaliation based on how aggressive some of these other passes have been going on. And our man on the ground Ols right now has just confirmed that Pumpakasu is both finished and qualified 4th. So it does go to show you what hot laps versus race pace does for you. So qualified 4th. He's now riding around in 20th place on the track. So not the best result so far for him. Let's have a little bit of a wait here. We'll let everybody come past. We'll work our way back up to the front and look at some more battles. It looks like Joe and Pitt are still going at it for now P6. I thought they was battling for P7 originally. No, P6 right now. So Tyler is still sat in that P3 position as he was. Aiden's chilling in P5. So the twins, again, 4th and 5th, right on top of each other. Here we go. We've got Pitt and we've got Joe Motorbike. These two have been training each other for quite a long time. Both, almost both managing to get past the lappers unscathed. They're both alive though on the bike. That's the important thing. Just loving a little bit of Fantic representation. And I've said it a few times, it's just nice seeing something that isn't the colour blue on the track. And so Joe made a little mistake on that uphill, allowed Pitt to go back past. So now he's got to try and go to work again. Jumps from the side of the track there, which... Oh, very unfortunate. Pitt getting into a lapper. Did that lapper just, like, leave as soon as he hit him, or did he respawn? What happened there? Extreme goes down. Pitt can't really go anywhere. The bike just rolls in front of him. And then the second Pitt hits him, I think Extreme hits the rage quit. Yeah, went back to pits. That's really unfortunate for Pitt. You hate to see that. He was having a good race, good battle with Joe up until that point. He's now got to go to work on these exact same lappers again. If only Extreme could have hit the insta rage quit rather than waiting for 2 seconds instead. But yeah, you hate to see that. So Pitt now, he's shitting in P8. Boy actually got the pass on him as well within that. Or no, he's not. He's not in front of him on track. Boy is in front of him in cuts right now, but not in track position. So if he can just stay on Pitt's cheeks, he should be a-okay. We're going to go a little bit further back. We should be finding your race leader any second now, as they're going to lap some of these guys for a second time this race. I think Fish being one of those. So Rax going under the Zero Raceware Arch. He has just lapped Caden, who is in P12, looking to work on HM702. Is that a 13-second gap still? That looks a little bit shorter than 13 seconds. I mean, no, never mind. No, he's there. That's fine. That's a big enough gap. So I think there's no reason Rax should be throwing this race away. We've got 3 laps to go, 2 as he goes over the line, and Cam's still 13 seconds back. I think this top 3 are fairly solidified in terms of where they are on the track. We do have to go a ways back to try and find Tyler. Where is he? There's the J. So Tyler, bad start. Came back through, put himself in 3rd, damage limitation there. He's going to lose 5 more points, however, on the championship lead. And Cam's going to close up 2 points on him. So it's going to be a 1-point gap between 2nd and 3rd in the championship after this race. But then it's going to be an 11-point gap from 1st to 2nd. So Rax extending his lead ever so slightly. He's going to be happy with that. Jake still rocking around in 4th position. Best of the rest, as we like to say. Which is something, a position I found myself in far too many times. You don't really like being that person. You'd be like, why can't I just gain those extra 2 seconds a lap just to be on the cheeks of everybody else? John's lap down. Pimpacassu's back here. Joe's back here as well. Pitt and Boy. Aiden has made a lot of mistakes. Aiden has fallen into the clutches of Pitt and Boy. So all 3 of these guys in shot right now are as it runs, are for the position. With only 2 laps to go, there could be some changes for these boys getting in top 5. And looking at it, did Joe go? Joe went past? Joe did go past. Never mind. Joe's in the top 5 right now. He's made his way up from, I don't think it was a great start. I think he was outside the top 10 at one point. Scrubbing the shit out of that uphill. Jesus Christ. I don't think his wheels left the ground. So he's in 5th. Aiden has been demoted back to 6th place on the back end of this race. So we're going to see if anything happens here between these 3. And actually one more. That's Kostya. There's Mike. So Mike's back here as well. Not too far behind, like 2 seconds off the back once cuts have come into play. So if you're in Aiden's position right now, one bad crash, that can see you going from 6th all the way back to 9th on the very last lap, which he would be very unhappy with. So he's trying to work his way around, trying to be as smooth as he can be. These boys come up to the back of Pimpacassu right now, so crazy stuff actually, think about it. I mean, I think Pump's over it at this point. I think he is just trying to hot lap and he's just staying out on the track. Hopefully he doesn't get in any of our race leaders' way or try doing anything silly like trying to repass them at all. Again, he's just trying to hit everything tapped and crashing all over the place, which is more annoying as a rider than anything because it's more bikes that you have to try and dodge. But yeah, it's a mentality thing more than anything. I think he's on the younger side, so he's not doing well. He's just kind of over it. Danny choosing to get out of the way of the leaders right now. Very heads-up lapping from Danny. You love to see that. Aiden got a pretty good slingshot up that hill. He's now closing in on Joe, and they are going to go into the last lap in a couple of corners' time, and it's going to be all to play for this final spot inside the top 5. Aiden jumping into that middle rut very nicely. Great speed out of there. They're going to follow each other into this inside. Then everyone choosing to go in these outside 2 ruts by the looks of it. Outside, Aiden's going to go up the inside. Very, very nice ride in there from Aiden. He could have been aggressive, could have sent Joe off the track, but chose to back it off a little bit, give him some room, and then makes a very nice clean pass up the inside. But Joe gets the slingshot up in the uphill. That's why I'm liking some of these different lines. Just faster in, slower out, or slower in, faster out. So these 2, we're going to stay on board for this, for the last lap here, as they go across the line. Oh, a little bit of cross-jumping action. Luckily, Aiden didn't get into the back of him too much. So these 2 are going to be going at it right now. I think it's pretty comfortable to say that Rex is going to be winning this race. He's got a 10-second lead over Cam, who then has a 30-second lead over Tyler. So shouldn't be any movement going on up there. Cheeky little tyre tab at the top of the hill by Aiden. Not intentional. I've done it a fair few times myself by mistake. And, oh, Joe going off the track ever so slightly. Manages to avoid that bail. Carries on going. Although missing that bail right there could give him a 1 second of cuts. And right now, I think that would promote Aiden 2 P5 as they go across the line. So we'll keep on board for this for the next half of a lap. See what unfolds. And so it looks like Rax managed to lap up to the top 10. Caden finishing 10th place on that two-stroke. He should be very happy with that. It was a good result. And then inside that, we've got Mike as the last person on the lead lap. And Aiden going down, unfortunately, trying to push it, trying to catch up to Joe. I think that's going to solidify that 5th and 6th spot at the end of this. We've got Pitt and Boy fairly far apart, and Pitt going off the track as well, trying to push it also. A little bit of a tricky bit of the track right here. What you can't see is as you exit this middle rut, it has a habit of slinging you over to the right. And where the track drops off on this right-hand side, very easy to get out of bounds and start falling away with the off-camber of the hill. So we're going to try and give people their dues. We had Rex in 1st place. He's probably gone back to pits already. Cam finished in 2nd. Tyler in 3rd. Jake in 4th. Joe is about to cross the line, I believe, for 5th, as he's going to step down this hill, which he does. Over all the rough stuff. Over the finish line. There's your top 5, just rounding things off. And then 6th place is going to be Boy. What happened to Aiden? Aiden went down again off the side of the track. He might lose another He might lose another position from cuts here. Boy went across. Aiden went across in 7th. So Aiden dropped from a potential 3rd at one point in that race, all the way back to 7th. Pitt goes across the line in 8th. And then Mike, the last man on the lead lap, he's going to get us across the line in the 9th position. And that was moto number 1 here at Lockett. They won't use... Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the backless body armors. I like having it front and back. It's a nice body armor. I like it. There's something that all body armors have issues with. I don't know if it's to stop it so there's no morphing with animations and stuff, is they never actually sit like on the rider's body. They're always off of their body a little bit. But again, it could just be, maybe if you're pulling the tear off in-game, maybe the rider morphs through it sometimes, so you have to do it like this. But it's fairly nice. Fairly decent skin. Track is so bad. I'm not going to say anything about that. That's personal opinion. Bad is a very subjective word. Do you mean the track is difficult? Oh, you then said you're just bad. Yeah, I don't know if... It's always harsh just to say a track is bad if people have struggled on it. I mean, it is meant to be difficult. Well, actually, I'll do the fly around. So actually, all 4 lines being used here, which is nice. I saw everyone just going to the outside at the start, but people using that inside a little bit more now. Up the hill, we've got 1, 2, 3 of these lines being used. This one here, not really getting touched, but that's fair. It does kind of fall away from itself as you get to the top, and it causes you to slide out. 1 line being used here. Just one. We're actually down to like a whole different colour of soil underneath. It's gone that deep. And I think the main reason for that is mostly because of how banked up the outside is. It just keeps you... You can just carry so much momentum. And you step down here. Got both inside and middle being used as well. Up to the top, looks like everyone's kind of filtering into this one line. That's acceptable. You don't really have to shut off there at all. Down to the middle here also. Stepping down the hill. Inside, middle rut, for the most part, I'm seeing people using. A little bit of outside action going on there as well. Middle rut being very heavily used here. And then I don't think I saw anyone other than Danny, and he was a lap down trying to get out of the way using this. So the issue we might start having now, you can see how choppy it's starting to get going to this outside. It's going to be hard for the bike to get really settled. So we'll see if anyone does try venturing over to that left. And it's just interesting seeing the way that the track's just deforming and eroding away. It doesn't seem to be digging down too much. And I think soil types do have an effect on how the erode forms. So I don't see it going down. It looks like it's almost smoothing out across some bits. So these bumps, there's no reason really for anyone to be moving over to the left now, because the bumps don't really seem to get much deeper at all. Again, that could just be because the track is soil instead of soft soil. We come down the hill, a lot of people still choosing to use this inside rut. Some people started venturing over to the outside. They're going to double their way around this corner. I think this inside is just a little bit too far inside for people to want to use. So when you're taking off this jump, you can't see what's on the other side. So trying to line up the different ruts is very difficult. A lot of the time you just end up slotting into whichever rut the bike lands into. Up to the inside here, people using middle and outside in this corner, up to the top of the hill. I'm surprised to see so many people going around the outside here. But I'm really, really surprised, because I just thought everyone would be flat tracking, drift out wide here, and then you can soak up this bump and then double triple. So very surprised to see people going outside in the flat first corner. And then inside and outside both getting utilised by quite a lot there. And then inside and second to inside here also stepping down, up and over the finish line. And I'm surprised to see so much outside in this corner. Because I noticed when I was practicing, it's very easy to turn down too much here and then end up taking off here. It seems like a lot of these boys are doing a very good job of keeping the bike out wide and then scrubbing off of this bank. So we might see more people using these insides on them in the next moto as the track deteriorates some more. But some okay racing in that first moto. It wasn't quite as stacked at the front of the pack as it has been in previous motos so far this year. But around that P20 position, there was really good battles going on. And then around the P7 position as well, there was some good battles going on also. No, B-Clay is not making the AMA tracks. That's going to be a combination of Stone Rider, JV, and Hell Machine, I believe. Tracks fire, but the uphill before the pit is arse. Got stuck 2 times. Yes. I understand why it's annoying, because when you crash, you would like to get going again. I don't think that's the track's fault. I think that is a traction issue with these new tyres. Because it's exactly the same thing on sand tracks as well. You're just fortunate on sand tracks there's not many uphills. But if you crash on the face of a jump on a sand track, for example, you also can't get going again and you have to push the bike forwards. So it does suck. I wish there was a way of making it so it maybe if you're going at a really low speed, you get more traction. But the issue that these boys have is, I wish, Bradley said this before, I wish MX Bikes was the same as MX Sim, where the track creators can choose the traction values, not have a set value based on what soil type it is. On Sim, you've got a whole list of values, like how much like slip it has, like the friction, all this shit. And you can change every single value to mold a track to be what you want it to be. Whereas on this game, you've got like the preset values of soil, soft soil, like compact soil, sand, and they're just stuck with it. They can't differentiate from that. Which is why in the past, a lot of the time, even if tracks are very, very different to each other in real life, they have ran the same soil the whole time. Whereas this year, I think they're trying to experiment a little bit and give tracks more characteristic, more differentiation between each other. There's always going to be cons to it, unfortunately. But it's like, if you don't get stuck, then it's good. Like, it's good to have that little bit of slipperiness. But then, obviously, it does bite you in the bum if you do crash on an uphill like this. My sit stand is on hold, so I have to hold it down the whole time to stay sat down, and then as soon as I let go of it, I stand up again. I didn't see the crash with a lapper, unfortunately, Cam, but there was a lot of lappers. We saw how many people you boys were having to get through. And quite early on as well. Like, pretty damn early on. I think it was only 10 minutes in that you boys started hitting lappers. Aiden says he just can't do this track, so some people struggling by the looks of it. We need to try and make a meme out of it at some point, because every week B-Clay says, I'm going to make the next round easier to give the boys a break. And every round, the tracks are brutal, like really difficult. And I think B-Clay's better at the game than he lets on, because it seems like he'll do the tracks quite straightforward and be like, yeah, this round's easier. And then I get on it and I'm like, buddy, this track's whooping my ass. What do you mean easier? I struggled on Matterley for a bit until I got my head around it. I struggled to run a hot lap around here for the TikTok and Instagram as well. But it's a difficult track. It really, really is. And it has to be. Could you imagine if... So, two things. The lap times around here are already in the mid 1 minute 30s. Could you imagine if he then makes it less rough to make it easier, and he changes it to soft soil instead of soil. Can you imagine how quick the lap times would be? You'd be like in the low, let's say low, you'd be like mid 120s, which for an outdoors track is disgustingly quick. Trench coming out of the first turn after the start straight. Yes. So this was already dug down anyway. So it's not like all of this has been made by the riders. The reason there's a trench there is because if you're on the inside, you drift out wide anyway. And if you're on the outside, it's better just to carry your momentum and come over to the right. The reason that people are going to stick to this rather than go here is it might not look difficult, but this double can be a little bit of a stretch, even on a 450, to get the pop, to get up and over it, to then be able to triple after that. So if you end up going here, for example, in the rough stuff, the bike kicks up and you land about here. So you can't get as much momentum, which is why everyone's drifting all the way over to the right, scrubbing through this bit and then going double, triple. Best version of MTG to pre-order? I've got no idea, Josh. I've not scrolled through and had to look at all the different ones. I think it more depends on what you want out of the game and just how much support you want to give. Because if you just want the game to play the game, just get the lowest one, to be honest, because it all comes with multiplayer by default as well. You only have to pay for multiplayer if you're doing like the esports side of things, but general multiplayer lobbies, like on bikes, public lobbies, are included in the game anyway. If you want to, I don't know all the ins and outs. I think some of them give you like some in-game credits for some as well, so maybe you want to do that early. I know a lot of big games, they'll do like a bigger pre-order version where you get some in-game currency to buy DLC and packs. I think there's an extent where I don't think you get extra stuff, but it's more like supporting the game creators as well for more. So it really depends what you want to get out of it. Just have a read through it all as well, just look at all your different options on the website. And use code LINS4 at checkout if you want another 4% off. Because I do earn commission from that. And I need to check actually to see my commission. I haven't looked since it released. So obviously take everything with a pinch of salt as well, because I can very easily be a biased opinion on it all, because I do have some incentive for the game to sell and for the game to do well. Not only from the like code side of things, but from a YouTube perspective. Like if the game does really well, then streams and videos will also do really, really well. If the game's stinky, like MESX, then the videos and streams won't do well. So there is incentive for me trying to be positive and trying to hope that it will be the game that it promises to be. So there's a lot of time left for it to come out. So I'm hoping that it will be left in the oven for the right amount of time. They will cook perfectly, and hopefully it will be a nice new game for us all to enjoy and put in the rotation of like bikes and sim, and then that one as well. I don't think so. The way bikes are going to work, to my knowledge, I think there's just going to be one 450 and one 250 on release, which won't even be a real bike. It'll be called like a VMX, so virtual MX 450 and a virtual MX 250. The issue that you have with real bikes is how much the licensing costs to be able to use them brands in-game. So I think they will come at a later date, and because it's going to come at a later date, I do not have the information at my disposal to be able to say yes or no if you'll have to buy them or not, if it'll be like a DLC pack or a one-by-one basis. If they don't get the licensing, I think it could also just be as fun as going down the route of what like MX vs ATV Reflex did, where the bikes look like the real bikes, but they don't have the real names. So Kawasaki was Dakumoto, for example, Honda was the Blaze, Yamaha was the Shima. So that's a way you can get around it. I mean, the actual bike that's in-game right now is a Honda, although it's not called a Honda, it's called like a VMX bike. So I don't know the exact angle they want to go with, because as soon as you add other bikes into the game, you then open the door for there to be a meta bike. And I think the game is trying to be like iRacing, where everything's equal. So if they do put those bikes in the game, it would purely be from an aesthetic perspective than anything else. I don't think the bikes would have different performances. So I think they want everyone to be equal to each other. That would be funny if you could, yeah, if you could bet on the races in the game. I'm sure there'd be some sort of limitations with age restrictions and stuff like that that you could do. Well, I think that'd only be the case if real life money is involved, because I think that's how, like, the CS:GO gambling websites get away with it, because you're gambling skins, you're not gambling currency. Even though you buy the skins with money, I think that's how they get around it there, to not have to be over 18. So I'm sure there's ways around it. Yeah, that'd be so funny. Do you remember, I mean, some of you are too old to remember, but some of my older boys might remember, like, the wager matches back in Black Ops 1, where you'd put your COD points up for a wager. I always used to love doing shit like that, doing the high roller stuff, 10 grand at a time, like whack it down. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Oh, Camel almost hitting us with a 360 right there. Are we going again already? Or has he just reset back to the pits? We are going again already. That was not a long break at all. So we're going to be going into motor number 2 here. This man, out of Finland, he's going to be hoping for a slightly better race this time than he did in the first one, because that was not ideal. He's gone back to the pits. He's retired already. He's had enough. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's back. I mean, gate 1, not ideal here. You do have to hook a hard right, otherwise you're going to be going up the same hill that guy on Facebook decided to jump off of. They have put collisions the whole way up this hill, so if anyone's seen that clip on Facebook, if you haven't yet, a guy in real life got into the side of someone here. He then jumped up over this fence and landed all the way down here, like barely downsiding at the bottom and crashing. I think he did injure himself, but not really bad. Imagine if he just landed flat, how awful that would have been, falling out the sky from this high up. It's like, yo, yeet, down into the ground. These are some... These norms are very strong, just realised. Like, that looks so 3D. But it's not. It's completely flat. Completely flat. It's all an illusion. Well, I mean, I say flat. It has a little bit of chop to it, but I think that's to help the bikes actually pick up some traction. Adding a little bit of noise onto the ground helps the tyres pick up better. Right, 450 Moto 2 at the top left. We're good on that front. We did have a cheeky little restart, but that is common in this game these days. Here's our 2 teammates next to each other. Got the Cam and Rax camera. Who's going to get the jump? I mean, Cam doesn't have to turn right as much as Rax does. It all depends on how this gate drop goes. First and second in Moto 1. Who's it going to be in Moto number 2? Tyler's got a good jump. Tiger's got a great jump again. Cam's going to get squeezed here, I reckon. Tiger's got the inside. It looks like everyone gets together, but it's just the netcode. Smarter start from Tyler there. He hung out wide for longer. So Tyler and Cam are going to be first and second through the whole shot line. And Rax is there just inside the top 10, I believe. He might even be in 10th position. So not a bad start either. So all 3 of these boys probably going to be going at it for the rest of this race. Hopefully they can keep it on 2 wheels for the first 2 laps. Caden, another great start on the 2-stroke. And that is what the 2-stroke does. And since we are on a slippery track today, that 2-stroke will grip even better on the start straight. So those 450s will be spinning up the whole time. That's why that 2-stroke has got out the gate well, and he finds himself in the 3rd position. Can you hang on to the back of these boys, is the question. So it looked like he was going fairly well in Moto number 1. If he can keep it in here. I mean, what was Rax's best position last week? Was it a 6? No, it was like... No, he got 4th, didn't he? I think he got 4th on it. Oh, Rax getting into the side of Caden there. Caden said, get on the weights, buddy. You're not muscling me out of anywhere, even if you are the championship leader. He puts that 2-stroke to work. So, oh, Cam's gone off the track already. Cameron, box, what are you doing to me? You're going to give me a heart attack. Let's hit the rewind. What happened there? Oh my god, he's gone flying. What? Oh, I hate this game. It doesn't let me rewind and then play it again like that. So Cam went flying off the track. He's going to have some cuts, 100% after that. That is just the way that it goes. We'll see how many cuts exactly as he crosses the line, but... He now finds himself back in P2. Rex has already made a move up into P3. Tiger in 4th. Caden dropping back to 5th. He's going to try and go around the outside of Tiger. Not much running room there, but he gets it done. Chooses to go up and around the outside again. Love it. Some alternate lines going on there. He didn't lose much time either. As Cam tries going up the inside of Tyler. Tyler closes the door. These boys are working their way through the rollers right now. Rax smells blood low. He's on the back of them already. Didn't take too long for him to work his way through from 10th all the way up into 3rd. It's almost Ken Roxon-esque, the amount of work Rax seems to do in these opening laps. Just avoids any drama, gets through people fairly easily, and he works his way through. So this is what we want. We haven't had many races like this season where the top 3 in the championship have been 1st, 2nd and 3rd on the track early on. So we've now got a full 27.5 minutes for this race to unfold. And I'm hoping, I'm looking at you, Mr. Cameron Box, I'm hoping that there's not too many crashes. Rax going around the outside there, carrying more speed, gains up onto the back of Cam, and now you could throw a blanket over these guys. They are very, very close together. I think they should all be taking very similar lines. I don't think we'll see much in the way of differentiation. Oh, Rack's almost looping his Larry out there. See? People saying the track's too slippery. This boy's almost doing backflips out of corners. He's getting that much traction. Come round to the right, stepping down the hill. Rack's come up a little bit short, but it's really not going to cost him much, if any time at all. Maybe like half of a tenth, if that. These boys, they're starting to try and get out of the super deep stuff. Everyone's still filtering into this outside, though, not choosing to change it up just yet. As Cam gets a much better drive up the hill than Tyler, side by side. Cam's going to have the inside in this next corner. Cam going up the inside, Tyler being smart, going around the outside. Cam dragging a handlebar, going down, and taking Rax with him, unfortunately. That is the way it goes sometimes. I believe Cam did just drag a handlebar there and stayed too low in the corner. Let's have a little look. No, the front end just knifed. He just leant it over too far, front end knifed. Rax had nowhere to go, got into the back of him. So that is second and third place going down, which does give Tyler a little bit of a lead. Where is... Oh, there he is. I thought he'd gone down already. Not as much of a lead as I expected. Unless he's made a mistake already. Only about 3.5 seconds. I mean, Cam does have that second or so of cuts that we saw him gain on lap number 1. But he's going to go back to work now, trying to catch up on Tyler. Rax is in third. Jake right on the back of Rax, almost looping his Larry. Hold on to it, buddy. These boys finding grip where no grip exists. Very quick reaction times there to stop him from looping that bike out on that downhill as well. It shows that what these boys are trying to do, just to gain those valuable tenths of a second. Just trying to Villepolo style it. Land on that back wheel, get on the throttle straight away, get going again. So Jake sat in that P4 spot. Again, best of the rest. He like exactly the same position as he was in Moto 1. He's probably still riding a bit of a high from last week at Matterley, finishing in first in Moto 1. And I believe he did finish third overall on the podium for the day. So very happy with that. Cam going down again. Unfortunately, he goes from second now down to third place. I think he's his own worst enemy sometimes. He might get in his own head and thinks he has to go faster than he needs to. So as Tyler and Rax stay up on the bike, Cam might even be faster on the track, but it's just those little mistakes that keep finding him dropping his way back. So we're going to go to the top of the hill right here. We're going to watch these boys all as they come up to the top of the hill again. Cam has gone down again, so he's gone from what almost a pass for first all the way down to fourth in the space of one lap. Tiger, Pitt and HM702 getting stuck on each other there. Mike working his way up the hill. Not as good of a start for Mike right now. No, he's in 10th. He's not too bad. Aiden goes through just inside the top 10. And then we've got an absolute gaggle of riders. Cooper says, scrub? What's a scrub? We're going to straight air this thing. And Caden has chopped from his early third place start. He's now finding himself outside the top 10. As JS7 goes down, Cooper barely avoiding that bike. Both people trying to get into the inside rut. There's only room for one in there. Caden falls out of it a little bit early. Going to see as they go across the line. Tyler's going to go across. He should have about a 6-second lead. As timing's just going to update. Yeah, 6.1 seconds. Rax now choosing to go into that inside rut, which is my favourite one when I was learning the track. Cam trying to go around the outside of Jake. Very nice pass around the outside there. Good old slingshot. Then going down the hill. Jake's going to follow him behind. No point putting up too much of a fight. I feel like there's certain riders that you just think, you know what, it's inevitable. You're going to go past me eventually. I'll just go past and go about my day. Pitt doing the Fantix some justice again. Getting off the back of it on the pit straight. Jumping back down the hill. Doubling his way into the corner. Going tight inside here. Very, very smooth. Up on the pegs. Lovely riding style. I find the Fantic does promote a bit of smoother riding as well. Seems to be very, very bottom end. Doesn't really do much top. Cam going down again. That's going to let Jake go past. This is something that Jake does very well, by the way. Is he might be a second or so off a lap in terms of time, but he'll then do the same time every time. So Cam is quicker. Cam will pass him multiple times. But if Cam keeps then going down, Jake's going to just gobble up that position. Cam hitting some transfers off the side of the track by mistake as well. And one thing that talking about Jake's consistency, he gets into the bow there at the bottom of the hill. One thing that I have criticised Jake on over the course of this season, as Cam goes down again, is on the back end of Moto number 2, at majority of the races this year, Jake has kind of fallen apart. Even if he's had a really good Moto 1. So if we take Matterley, for example, I think he went like 1.6 or 1.7 on the day for third overall. I don't know if it's an road thing. I don't know if he's getting in his own head. I don't know if it's like fatigue. The fingers can't take a full hour's worth of racing on the day. I got no idea. But whatever it is, the second half of Moto 2s, Jake does seem to self-destruct a little bit and crash a lot. So we're going to pay attention to where he is right now on the track. Going across the line in third as Pitt is making some hella moves right now. He's looking to snatch up that podium position. We will see if Jake drops off on the back end of this race. I was going to move away from it, but right now, Pitt is absolutely barking the virtual dirt course. I might have to slide in his DMs and ask for the Fantix up, because I do like the Fantic quite a lot, and I would like to have fun in the AMA outdoor season, as it being one of, if not the last full season that I do on this game. So maybe I'll have to ask him for the Fantic. I don't think I've ever seen a red-plated Fantic before. So we'll get to run that for one round if I do that. So yeah, Pit, if you watch this race back, slide me set up in the DMs, please, because you are moving right now. Track looks destroyed. It's pretty beaten up. I'll be honest, the road doesn't seem to have done too much. A lot of this is just still what the base track was. The base track was very, very rough anyway. It's only a couple corners like this, like the entrance of this, where the road's kind of destroying it, but that's because you've got 40 different riders over the space of 40 minutes so far, taking the exact same line as each other. The bits of the track where people were spreading out a little bit more doesn't seem to be as destroyed. But I do think we need to race on tracks that are difficult and do get beat up, because it just... You're not just hot lapping the entire race then, it takes a little bit of thinking. You got to try and chill out sometimes, try and pick some different lines. Someone that I know we've been hating, not hating's not the right word, we've been giving Cam some grief for the crashes this year. Something that he has been very good at is changing his lines sooner rather than later. And that of course can come with its own issues. You could not be used to a line and crash because of it. But thinking back to Keegham's, for example, Cam was taking a lot of alternative lines there. He was taking some very interesting lines at Italy as well, in Majora, doubling up a hill and downsiding some braking bumps, stuff like that. So he's been very clever with his riding overall. There's just been a few mistakes that have really stopped him from probably being in first place in this championship this year. It's just a few too many crashes. So we are soon going to have a three-way battle for this third position on the track. And I'm keeping an eye on that timer at the top left as well, because I am noticing that gap between Rax and Tyler slowly starting to come down. So we could have a battle for first. We are in a battle for third right now. We've also got another three-way battle for fifth back here between Tiger, Mike and HM702. So there's a few interesting bits going on the track. And Mike's having a really good race so far. He's going to step down this hill. Tiger hasn't dropped off as much as he did in the first one, so he's having a better race. The starts have helped him so much this year. He's been really good out of the gate. Mike's going to go up the inside there, puts his bike in front of Tiger's and just blocks the line. Really, really good riding. As they're going to slingshot up this hill. Tiger gets a tiny bit of a better run, but he's not going to be making any headway there. He's not going to pass. Cam goes down again. Has he just done exactly the same thing as last time? I need to watch it again. Oh, no, he didn't. So, not Cam's fault at all. Jake messes up, dies in that rut, bike falls into Cam's path. Cam tried cutting down, could go absolutely nowhere, and, yeah, just gets collected, which is very, very unfortunate. You know who that's not unfortunate for, though? Is the man on the white machine, Mr. Pitt. He finds his way up into third position on the track right now, which is probably the highest position he has been in all year long. He's had some very good races this year. He's had some very mediocre ones as well, but he's vibing on the Czech soil right now. The Fantic doing him really well. I don't think I've seen him on the Fantic any other round either. I think this is the first time he's brought it off of out of the garage, and he is now chilling in that third position. Will he hang on to it, is the question. Jake gets up in front of Cam, which I'm sure is going to probably annoy Cam a little bit, because it was, I guess, Jake's fault, kind of, that they went down. And HM702, who was in fifth position, now finds himself battling with Cam up the inside of Jake. Jake is starting to make some mistakes. So I said it not only 5 minutes ago, that I said he starts to get a little bit sketchy on the back end of Moto 2. It could already be starting. We're finding him slipping up a little bit here and there. HM has had a great last couple of laps so far. He finds himself up into the fourth spot right now. Cam going up the inside. Jumps very deep. HM going back up underneath him. Great racing going on right now. As he jumps across in front of Cam. Everyone's going to filter in. Oh, HM choosing to go on that inside rut. Great exit on that inside. Oh, Cam's going to get a better slingshot around the outside, though. Is HM going to keep him honest? Both going to the outside now. Jake choosing to go up the inside. Some great racing going on right here. Much better than the first moto. Oh, and HM goes down. That's a shame. He was riding so well up until that point. So he's going to find himself picking it up off the floor. He's going to find himself back into 6th now, I think it is. Maybe 7th, we'll see. Because Cam's got a lot of cuts by the looks of it. As it says, Cam's actually in 7th on the track when he just isn't. Tiger having a much better race so far as well. He's in the 6th position on the track. Not dropping off anywhere near as much as last time. So good racing going on so far. I want to keep an eye. Have they crossed the line yet? No, they haven't. I want to keep an eye on these, these three right here. These three going back and forth. I'll pay attention to the timing on the top left to see if Rax does close in on Tyler, see if Tyler makes any mistakes at all. But so far, the best battles on the track have been for around 3rd to 7th or so. Everyone's going back and forth quite a lot. Pitt going up the inside there. He didn't get into that rut properly. He was drifting up the hill the whole time, but still has decent momentum. almost looping his Larry on the mechanic straight again. That Fantic has got some bottom end on it. Fun fact, in a straight line, up to, I think it's like 400 meters, I have no idea how they tested it, the Fantic is actually the fastest bike in a straight line. Fun fact. And I'm surprised that we don't see more people on it as Cam goes down, Pitt jumping too far down the hill, lands on that braking bump, and it absolutely ejecto-cetos him over the bars. And that is the issue with this track, is you can go too fast. He stepped down, that suspension's going to land right in this bump right here. Front end goes over it, back end doesn't, yeets him up and over the handlebars. And he's a passenger at that point. Nothing he can do there at all. You hate to see it. Pitt's been riding so well so far this race. You hate to see him going down. It's just nice. I'm always a fan of watching people ride. I think Pitt just rage quit. No? Was that Pitt that just went down there? Am I... Okay. I don't know. I think he's left. Unless there was just some interesting lag going on there. No idea, but yeah, he was riding very, very well up until that point. Sorry about that. I'm trying to find my bearings now. Here we go. So, Cam and Jake still going at it, still battling for this final spot on the podium. Jake would love to get outside of that best of the rest position, chilling in P4. He wants to make it up onto the box a couple more times. It looks like Pitt has disconnected. He's falling down the leaderboards. It takes a while for the server to realise that he's gone, which tells me that he didn't press escape and go to Pitt. He just hit the Alt F4 straight away. Alt F4, gone. Disgusting. Which sucks, because he was battling for that P3 there. And I can understand the frustrations when you're crashing, especially if you have back-to-back crashes within the same lap. Very frustrating stuff. But, oh, Rax and Tyler. Rax and Tyler, here we go. Now it's going to get spicy. These two basically on top of each other. It looks like Tyler has 2 seconds of cuts. So Rex is actually in the lead right now in terms of time on track. I'm liking this outside. These boys are taking there. Just carries all that momentum, slingshots them up the next hill, going into that right-hander. So we're going to stay on board for this one for a little while. These boys choosing to go very far right there. I'm surprised there's no bales or anything stopping you from cutting to the right-hand side. Both drifting out into that little trench there, so then they can go double, triple. Jay Talon with the hand up, being a good lapper, letting the leaders go by. Rex choosing to use that middle right and drifting out wide. Does he go double, single? He does. Some people are going to choose to go single, double there, or double, single. I think they work out basically the same as each other. And then Tyler's going to go across the line. What are the cuts looking like as Rex goes across? Once timing updates, 0.2. So that, to me, I think that's a 2-second set of cuts that Tyler has. Rex does go down this time, doesn't save it, but gets a very good respawn. I don't know how he does it. His bike just seems to not do 360s like everyone else's. So Rex giving a couple of seconds of time there to Tyler. So Tyler's going to be having a little bit of breathing room. Cam and Jake are basically on top of each other again, but I think that's because Cam has cuts. So yeah, Cam's here. He must have like 3-4 seconds of cuts maybe, because that is a big gap on track to Jake. And then have we got any other battles? Tiger chilling in that 5th spot. Mike's in 6th. We have got a battle for 7th between HM and Boy. HM was almost battling for a P3 position earlier after, and then he made a mistake earlier on. So we'll see how these boys do. Going up top of the hill. But oh my god, that was a bit saucy there from Boy. I don't think that gains you any time, to be honest, because you're not really moving forwards. I know scrubbing is usually good for you, but because you're already sliding a little bit, there's no real need to step that back end out. I think you're better off just trying to straight area and jump far forwards to make sure the back wheel's tracking rather than sliding out as you turn on the face. But I mean, it looked good. It looked very, very good. And he's going to make the pass on HM 702 there. Very clean, very respectable riding out of these boys. Don't see any drama going on. One name that I don't see on the screen, because they retired, I was going to say, I didn't see a Wild Pum Picasso. It's come through there. Pitt has retired. Marley's left this race as well. So we've got a few people that... I heard that two-stroke. That sounded horrible, by the way. So we've got a few people up here that kind of leaving the race a little bit early. A little bit early indeed. So I do see Tyler and Rax, however, getting close together again. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? There's my boy John. Got Darks, Olma, Danny, Jamie going through. There's Tyler, as Rax literally just made the pass as we came into it. So Rax going around the outside of Tyler. Very common theme here, by the way. Sorry to keep rewinding. I just like showing you some in-depth stuff. Is as these boys are jumping off this berm here, usually you go from... You'll take off while still being leant over. So they'll try and straighten the bike up in the air. This is what happens if you don't get that bike straight in time. So the back end came round, the front end didn't. He landed sideways, front end knifed, and there was just no way of saving that at all. So that is the issue. We're trying to go really, really fast sometimes, is you just can't bring the bike back around in time off of some of them jumps. So that's going to give Tyler a little bit bigger of a lead, which he won't mind at all, especially as he's coming up to some lappers now. It's nice to have a little bit of breathing room. So Rex might have gone down again. I think he might have. Gio, in here, by the way, who in aerial chat earlier was saying that he doesn't think he qualified and that it was chalked. Gio is making it in, and he's not in points today, unfortunately. He had a very good round at Matterley. I think he got points in both motos, but he's sat in 25th spot this round, so not vibing with the track too much. Someone who is making some moves right now, as both of our leaders start making mistakes, is Cameron Box. He's kind of made up for those mistakes earlier on in the race. He's had a couple of consistent laps by the looks of it, and he is now only 13 seconds behind your race leader. So this could tighten up on the back end of this. We've got 12 minutes left, 12 minutes plus a lap to go. So we're going to see if this does tighten up back at the front. Rex did make a few mistakes this lap, so he's gone from just passing Tyler at the start of the lap to now being about 3 seconds off as they go across the line. Cam is going to go across the line. What's the gap now between Cam and the lead? Once it updates again, 10.2 seconds. Okay, yeah, that could get very spicy on the back end here. Jake is just still doing his thing. He's chilling in that P4 position, come up to a couple of lappers. Tiger is having a very good race so far. He dropped back quite a lot in moto number 1 after getting the whole shot. But he had a very good start again in this one, and he's just doing his thing. He's chilling, he's negotiating his way around the track. Mikey's coming up to the back of him very quickly though, so we could get some battles going on right now. We're going to see everyone choosing to filter to this inside now by the looks of it. And you can see how beaten up some of these ruts are getting. It's got to be very easy to get the bike lent over too far and wash the front end. Everyone choosing to step down right here, jump into the inside or the middle. I think a lot of time it just depends where your bike ends up. I don't think people really choose inside or middle there. They just end up in whichever one at the time. And then Mike choosing to get out of the rough stuff and going on the inside there. So a little bit slower going into it, but much smoother on the exit, and it sets him up further left for the next corner, which is exactly where you want to be. We've got some nice heads-up riding going on here also. He's going a smooth inside line there too. Does he go inside here? No, he chooses to slot into the middle here and then down to the outside. We've got a downed lapper as Mike gets into him unfortunately and then collects. We're now going to watch HM being a world of pain. Watch him trying to get going up this hill again. Yeah, he gets going alright. That wasn't too bad. Very unfortunate for Cam 2 there, as there was nowhere he could go. He just crashed in a rut and his bike was landed sideways, so unfortunate. I don't think we can really blame him for any of that at all. Whilst those two went down, however, we did see the other twin, Aiden, working his way through. So Aiden's just gained 2 spots in that one instant. He's going to move his way up into P6. That should update next time they go across the line. And then that's given Tiger a whole bunch of breathing room in that P5 spot. Cam is make it... Tyler shit the bed. Where is he? Tyler went down. Tyler went from being in the lead by 2 seconds to down by 6. So Tyler, I don't know if it was by himself or if he's going to some lappers at some point. He has given up the lead to Rex. So if Rex can stay where he is, that is going to be a 1-1 on the day for him, and he's going to be a very, very happy man indeed. No idea why I can't see Rex's bike. I'm surprised that... I mean, I downloaded everything that Alex of Moto Academy sent to me earlier today. I don't know if Rex just isn't choosing to run that bike, or if he's got a special red plate one that I haven't got yet, but I do not see it, unfortunately. But I can see his gear, so at least we have something. So Rex could be going 1-1, and extending that 6-point lead to a potential 16-point lead by the end of today. And actually, depending on if Tyler manages to fall victim to Cam as well, that lead could be even bigger, as we've got Tyler going through there, and then we've got Cam just here on the track. So both of these boys having quite a few cuts, by the looks of it, which I think is in play with Rex's lead also. And I'm guessing the cuts are just coming from the crashes and then the bike rolling off the side of the track. There's not really anywhere around here that I think you can scumbag it or get away with it, like try low line and anything. So I do think it is just a byproduct of crashing too much. But yeah, Rex has got a bit of a comfortable lead right now, and with only 8 minutes plus a lap to go, there's only so much these boys are going to be able to do. They're going to have to try and hope for some mistakes out of your race leader, because he doesn't really tend to make too many of them, which is why he finds himself at the top of so many of these races. So Tyler's going to have to... The issue that these boys have now is they have to go full send to try and catch up to the lead. However, the issue with going full send is a lot of time you end up making more mistakes and going down. So it is all about getting that position early on and then just trying to hold it for the entire race and not trying to push too hard and making the mistakes that other riders will make. I am going to go back right now about 40 seconds on the track to find HM and Aiden. So we've got 2 lappers down on this hill. You can hear them struggling to get going. Tiger still chilling in 5th. He's doing his thing. And, oh. Well, can we get an L Aiden in chat, please? Him and AHM were literally a second apart from each other. And now Aiden's crashed and finds himself 9 seconds behind. L Aiden. God damn it. Ruining the battles for the stream. You hate to see it. And he goes down again. Oh, please don't pull away. Oh, that was an interesting re-entry there. I think he should have just sat. We do, however, have Cooper and Boy, who were battling for a P10 or a P9. We now have 3 riders, so we're battling for a P8 right now instead. But Aiden not vibing with this track at all today. He did come into the chat after Moto number 1 saying that he just can't do this track. And it's going to be one of them things, like not every track this season is going to gel with everybody. People are going to struggle with some and then love others. And it all just depends what kind of a rider you are and what tracks you enjoy. As Cooper goes down, unfortunately, that's going to promote Boy up into that 9th spot. He's just on the back of Aiden, though, for that P8. We'll see if anything more comes of this. We'll stay on it for a little while. But I do hear a 2-stroke behind us, though. We've got Caden, who... He did get past Cooper, so that is going to put Caden up into the top 10. He got 11th... No, I think he got 10th last race. Yeah, I think he got 10th in the last lap. So the old 2-stroker, the old 2-smoke, trying to go for back-to-back 10s around this track, which I think is very, very impressive. Because it's one thing doing it around a grippy track like we had at Matterley, but to be doing it around a slick track like today, especially if on the 2-stroke you're lighting the back end up everywhere, I feel that's a pretty good job well done. I think Caden can be happy with 2 10s if it finishes like it does, like it is right now. Dr. Geo, we've got to give Geo some love since he's always in here in the streams. He's in 21st. Is this John in front of him? No, it's Jake in front of him. Where's John? There's John. So Geo, a little bit of work to do to get into a points paying position. So he's in 21st, just 1 out. Jake still doing his thing. So it looks like he had a few mistakes earlier on in this moto around the 20-minute mark. And, or is he going to avoid that bike? He does. That bike rolls nicely out of his way. Yeah, he had a few mistakes earlier on. He seems to have cleaned it up on the back end of this. And he's just circulating the track now. He's in a little bit of a no man's land. He's got 9 seconds up the road to Cam. He's got 12 seconds behind him to Tiger. So no immediate pressure, no threats at all. He can just circulate and do what he's doing. Rax is kind of maintaining that gap now to Tyler, 8.5 seconds or so. Might have even gone up a little bit. I think it was 7 a lap ago. But then Cam's 14 off the back of Rax as well. So I do think the hype that I had at the start of this race for a 3-rider battle the whole way through, it is slowly starting to fizzle out as we get through this race. I think these boys are separated enough now and the positions will probably stay exactly as they are. Can we have a look at how beat up this track's getting, by the way? Right, look how choppy some of these bumps are. These bikes are going to be dancing all over the place. Best to whack it up into a high gear across this stuff and just let it skim across the top. Everyone's choosing to go inside here still. As we got Jake stepping down, he's in P4. Everyone at the top here is kind of spread out. We have to go back to P10 by the looks of it. I think Cooper and Boy are going at it again. Got Mike there, Jamie. Got to go a long way back. Got Aiden still sitting in his 8th position. There we go. We've got Cooper, Caden and Boy. So we've got a 3-rider battle right now for this 9th position. I think Caden's still sat in 10th right now on track. There's just cuts come into play with these lot. So whilst Cooper's in front of Caden, for example, it says he's behind. So Caden actually has to go around the outside there on that 2-stroke to get the speed to be able to then go double, triple. So that could leave him vulnerable for a pass opportunity from Boy. Boy might spot that and try going up the inside of him next lap if he's closer. But Boy choosing to stay nice and low, going single, double, keeping it smooth. The issue that you have if you go double, single is you are then jumping into all them braking bumps. And it can be quite unpredictable sometimes. So smart riding to choose to check up first and then double in and have a smoother corner afterwards. Railing that corner, staying nice and low. One thing I noticed about Boy so far in this race, I haven't paid much attention to it for the rest of the season, he does like a scrub. He does keep that bike very low to the ground. Like up here as well, throwing it a little bit sideways when other people are trying to send it. But it's nice to have a little bit of battle in action going on this track, whilst everybody else from 1st all the way down to 8th is spread out and doing their own thing. I noticed there's been a bit of a common theme for this whole season so far, is around that 10th position or so, there's been some really good battles. Like Keegum's was very, very good for battles around the 10th position. Now, the only annoying thing about 2-strokes in this game is when you are in front of one, because that is all Cooper is going to be able to hear. And it does add a little bit of pressure. It really does. So, I mean, Caden's doing really well. He's keeping up with these 450 boys. Even on like long uphills like that, that bike is tracking in a straight line really nicely. I mean, suspension seems to be working well over these braking bumps, doing its thing. Doesn't seem too unsettled. Oh, he pushes Cooper out of the way. He's, get on the weights, buddy. This is my gym. You're just living in it. And, yeah, moves his way through into... is that 9th? Yeah, it's 9th. 9th on track. So, one position better than his last moto. I have just noticed, out of the corner of my eye, I think Gio has just moved his way up into a points-paying position. Because John, who was in 20th, is right there. So I think Gio is now in 20th. Tiger, got to cut Tiger some love this race. He's having a really, really good one. Still sat in 5th place. He has a 3.5 second gap over HM just behind him. It's not 3 seconds on track, to be fair. But as we know, there's a lot of cuts coming into play today. It's always the issue with tracks that are this fast, especially if they're on hills as well. Just one crash, you can go tumbling down, and then it's near impossible to rejoin the track where you crashed. Please don't re-enter the track there. Good heads. I think that was heads up from John. It looked like he checked up and then cut down left, so he didn't get in HM's way. So good stuff. You'd love to see that. But we could have a little bit of a battle going on here for this this 5th position. And there's different positions in racing, isn't there, that you just want to get. It's like you go for a top 10, and then it doesn't really matter if you get 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th. It's still a top 10. 5th is kind of the next position that you want to break into. And after that, you don't care if you get 4th or 5th. You want to get like a podium. And then you don't really care about getting a 2nd after you've got a podium. You just want to win after that. So there's different stages that these boys try and go for. So whilst it might not seem like a big difference getting a 5th, I think for these guys it does mean a lot, and it's more confidence than anything. I don't think either of these two have finished this high up this season. So for either of them, getting a P5 in this moto, they're going to be really, really happy with. So we saw Tiger did make a mistake, unfortunately, which let HM go through. And he's got a little bit of a gap on him already right now. So we're going to do a little bit of a fly through. Rax has basically checked out at this point. We'll try and find him. There he is. So Rax is right there. We then go 15 seconds back to find Tyler right here, going past Aperta. Aperta being a good lapper, lovely stuff. And Cam was close, but Cam must have crashed on the last lap as well, because he was only about 3 seconds off of Tyler, and he's now at 7 seconds behind. He's sat in 3rd. We then got to go a little bit further back again to try and find twin number 1. That is Darks. There he is, twin number 1. Jake sitting in 4th again, just doing his thing. We then go back even more. Look how spread out all these boys are. Gio's there in 20th. There's HM. He's sat in 5th. We then have Tiger in 6th. We've got Mike in 7th. We've got John, who is Mike's teammate right now, being doing some heads-up lapping. I hope he's going to let Mike through in a second. They're probably both in their own call. There's Tiger jumping off the side of the track. Not ideal, so that's going to move Tiger from 6th down to 7th. That's going to promote Mike up into that P6 position. We have got Aiden sat in 8th. Probably not the day that Aiden was looking for after a good round at Matterley as well. But he said straight after qualifying that he wasn't vibing with the track. So he's just trying to get around, see this race through, and then make it back home. Get into his nice, comfy, warm bed. We've got a few back markers here. We then go back to Cooper, who sat in 9th. And then Boy in 10th. Caden has dropped then from 9th to 11th recently on the 2-stroke. So he's going to go back to work as JS7 closes in on the back of these boys. So if everything goes right for JS7, he could find himself leapfrogging from 12th all the way up to maybe 9th before the end of this race, depending on what happens. So he's just going to work on Caden right there. We've got Rax has lapped up to 13th again, so they're looking to lap the 12th position before the end of this race. Mr. Fatty Matty, he's sat in 13th, and Janov in 14th. Don't know if Janov's having as good of a round as he would have wanted after last week as well. He was up there battling for podiums at Matterley last week, so he probably would be expecting more of the same, but again, the race has not gone the way you would have expected this time round. We have got Cam, who I believe is an extra lap down. Aperta is in 15th. We've then got Cam number 1 and Tyler right on each other now. Okay, let's try and pay some attention to this. So, this is actually good news for Rax, because Rax is now going to gain an additional 2 points. No, an additional 1 point because of how the points run so far. So he had a 12-point lead, I think it was. Yeah, 12-point lead over Cam going into this moto. He's now going to gain 5 points, 3 points as it runs, sorry. He's going to have a 15-point lead, I believe, by the end of this today. So he's not going to be too unhappy with that whatsoever. He gave everybody a bit of a chance last week, rocking up on the 2-stroke, but now it seems to be back to business as usual. Pace-wise, I don't think he's going much quicker than these boys on the track. It's a consistent fast pace. Whereas these boys seem to be having to push a little bit more to hold that, and that causes them to make some mistakes, as we've seen over the course of both motos, both Tyler and Cam going down. I mean, Rax has made mistakes his own, don't get me wrong. Like, all the boys are crashing around here as Tyler goes down again. I think the suspension just said no at that point. And a little bit of a long respawn right there. Can we rewind this and see where it went wrong for him there? So he's going to come into these braking bumps. Suspension locked up there. Back end kicks, just because you're turning over bumps at the same time. That's the issue. When these braking bumps get to a certain point, these boys, they have to turn over braking bumps to even get the bike cranked over enough, and that is the downside. Unfortunately, the bike will step out from underneath you. So that gives a lot of breathing room to Cam, so Cam's going to circulate now for probably quite a comfortable P2. Tyler's gone... Tyler must have just had a bunch of crashes in the same space of time. He's almost looped his Larry again. Tyler is absolutely falling apart in these last 2 laps. Because right now, cuts considered... He's almost gone down again. Cuts considered, this man is promoted to 3rd place right now. So that is not good for the championship for Mr. Tyler J. He's gone from what was a fairly comfortable 8-second lead earlier on in this race. He now finds himself 37 seconds behind. And I think he's going to be in a bad headspace right now of trying to catch up as much as he can, which is then just going to lead to more and more crashes. It's a horrible cycle to be in. So Tyler has gone from, what would it have been, 25 points to now scoring 19. Is it 19 or 18 for 4th? I can never remember. I know it's 25, 22, 20, and I don't know if it's 19 or 18 after that. But we're going to look at these as they go across the line, because Tyler's gone across there. If Jake is still in front of him on cuts, he has a disgusting amount of cuts. Jake is still in front of him by 3 seconds. Jake is in front of him by 5 seconds. So, sorry, Jake is here, Tyler is here, but Jake's 5 seconds. Tyler must have about 10 seconds of cuts. It's got to be, like 8, 9, 10 seconds. That's unreal. So Tyler actually needs to get a move on right now. He needs to try and find 5 seconds in this last lap. Otherwise, Jake is going to be rocking out with a podium today, which will actually, again, put him on the podium overall. So Jake would go 4-3 on the day. Tyler would go 3-4. Jake would get the podium overall because of a better second moto finish, which he's going to be ecstatic with. You know, two 3rd places in a row. Can't be unhappy with that at all. It's just that little bit of progress that you need, just chipping away at each time. And he's done it just by being consistent, just by being smart. I guarantee if we look at the lap times, his fastest lap's probably like 2 seconds off the back of some of the other boys. So if we look, Tyler's best lap, 35.6. If we look at Jake's best lap, 37.3. So exactly what I said. He's about 2 seconds lap slower, but his lap 20 is only a 10th slower than his lap 5. Whereas if we go and look at Tyler, his lap 20 is 14 seconds slower than his lap 5. So it is just consistency. So Rax is going to be your victor today. He goes 1-1, securing 50 points, extending his points lead. Cam is going to go 2-2 on the day for 2nd overall. Matty is going to go and tiptoe his way across the line. And Jake should be crossing the line in a second once cuts come in for a P3. So Tyler's going to cross the line 3rd, but then it should demote him unless Jake went down. Nope, Jake gets it. By just under 3 seconds, Jake goes across the line. He's going to round out your podium for today. So, W. Oz is going to be happy. Jake's going to be happy. The other twin, however, the one that is usually attached to the hip, not going to be so happy, unfortunately. As Mike has worked his way up to 5th place right now, by the way. He was not doing too hot at the start of this race. We'll see if cuts change anything as they go across the line. It might do. But on track position, Mike goes across. No, HM gets it on cuts. So HM is going to round out your top 5 for today. I saw Elon Musk do this pose on Twitter. Yeah, never mind. Mike is going to be 6th. We've then got Gio going across the line for a point. 2 points maybe in 19th. Lovely stuff. Tiger had a bit of race in Moto 1-2. He's going to finish in 7th. Aiden, not a good day at the office. He's going to go across in 8th place. And then Cooper is going to go across in 9th. And Boy was the last person to get lapped on track. He's going to round out your top 10. And that is all from the Czech Republic. Oh, good racing, boys. Check his lap times. Let's have a look. Rax. So, I mean, Rax made mistakes of his own, to be fair. He had a crash on that last lap. His best lap was a 34.5. If we then go Cam, his best lap was a 35. Last lap, 38. I mean, if I had to be a betting man, I think Rax will have the fastest lap, which he did. And if we go to the analysis, I imagine a lot of Rax's laps are very close together. Jesus Christ, my dinner's coming back. So we've got 38, 34, 36, 37, 39, 36. There is a bit of differentiation here, but here you go. This is the spell that does it. So it's like 36, 35, 36, 35, 36, 38, 36, 36, 36. It's this spell. So from here, from lap 12 through to lap 20, that is the difference maker in the race. Because if I go over to Mr. Tyler J, lap 12 through to lap 20, 43, 37, 36, 36, 37, 43, 37, 48, 49, and then 37. So you see there's a lot more laps in there with crashes. And then if we try and find Jake, so it's slower lap times, but they're consistent. So 38, 39, 38, 39, 40, 39, 39, 39, 44 with a crash, 38, 38, 37, 37, 38. So it's this area. So like lap 12 through to lap 20, that seems to be what breaks a lot of people in these races. Whereas Cam, for example, I imagine Cam's initial laps were poo, and then that's the other Cam. Where's first Cam? Where's world champion Cam? There he is. So Cam's original laps, 44, 43, then a hot lap, then a crash, then a hot lap, then a crash, then a hot lap, hot lap, hot lap, hot lap, hot lap, crash, hot lap, crash. It seems like the track claimed everybody today by the looks of it. But so that second moto, much better racing than the first one, I think. First one was a little bit, everyone was separated. And for those boys saying that the track was beaten up, they only ran 0.05 erode today. So you can't really be getting much lower than that. Like, that is disgusting. And we'll do a little bit of a quick fly around before the server goes down. So we've got this little trench that everyone followed into right there. We'll work our way going up the hill. It seems like all three of these lines were getting used towards the end, to be honest. Rack's using this middle one, which actually looks like the best one, to be honest. I think this first one, it's probably easy to go over it. Outside, a little bit bumpy going into it. Middle, just right. And then drift out wide, cut across. You either use this hump here to go double, single, or do what other people doing where they go single, double. Then got to get your way through all of this chop. That is a big old hole to be hitting going into this corner. So, yeah, maybe avoid that. Maybe go in the middle one right here. Stepping down the hill. I'm going to keep the camera on the floor so you can see how much it moves up and down from the bumps. So, try and get the suspension working over all this choppy stuff. Double up the hill right here. So, people were going around the outside for most of this race. Doesn't look like it's deteriorated to the point of being unusable anymore, so I don't see any reason why people were changing too much. And then as you step down the hill, this is a hill that was claiming a lot of people. It's all these choppy bumps coming down it, trying to get the bike settled. And again, a lot of people choosing to just miss the rough entirely and try and filter into this inside right here. Getting the slingshot up this hill. All these lines looking like they were being used as well. Don't think I saw anybody touch the second or first rut in this corner. Just everybody filter into the outside. It's just the safe option. To be honest, you carry more speed into it, you carry more speed out of it. It's the way to go. These bumps here getting a bit choppy, getting eaten away as you jump into this corner, and then middle and inside both getting used fairly equally by the looks of it. 110 or 120 rear. I always just use the 110, to be honest. I find that if I switch to the 120 rear tyre, everything changes. It's not just a case of you get more grip, but it's like you can't lean the bike over as much anymore when you are in a rut. I feel like I go over the ruts a lot more because the bike grips too much. But I don't know. I mean, that's a very valid question. It's really valid. Like, people could have changed to the 120 today. No idea. Then we step down this hill. Very easy to overjump this tabletop, by the way. You have to check up quite a lot for it. Most people choosing to go middle rut, but we did see people like Mike taking the inside and getting it to work as well. So there was definitely other viable options. Don't see any reason why anyone would ever go around the outside here unless they missed the two inside ones. It's just there as another line. Maybe if there's people dead on the inside, you can mix it up a little bit. I am seeing a tiny little bit of erode in this inside, but there was no real reason for anybody to not take this inside. It's mostly just because of the slingshot that you need to get up this next hill. That's all it's for. And yeah, the outside here didn't really go away at all. So people stayed consistent to that throughout the course of the race. What did go away, however, was this tight inside that everyone was taking. I think it's just where the bumps before it have started getting eaten away, which made it even sketchier to take. So people started filtering towards this outside and rallying around that. We did see Cam make a mistake or two in this section right here. So very easy to lean the bike over too far. Very easy for the front end to come off the ground as you exit the corner over some of these bumps and then knife on you. Seemed like most people would jump into this far outside towards the end. Again, nothing wrong with that. Getting that slingshot up the hill, filter into this inside. I'm surprised to not see many people taking this inside roller, because it's basically all I ended up taking the whole time playing the track. But again, that's just people learned the track differently to I and then found out what worked better. Both inside and outside getting used here. I'm very surprised to see so many people going around this outside. I thought we would just be inside all day long. But yeah, that'll do it for a lap around Lockett. Yeah, good racing, I think. B Clay, since you're in chat, where are we off to next week? I have a feeling it's probably one of the sand tracks, but which one are we off to? Is it Arnhem or is it Lommel? We're at Lommel. Nice, okay. So, again, another round that I'm very jealous that I don't get to race on myself, but I'll get to do a nice nice hot lap and a video on it, so it doesn't matter too much. So we're off to Lommel next week, and I'm very intrigued to see what Bradley can cook up, because last year's Lommel, if you remember, was a very, very difficult track to ride around. So we'll see if he goes easy on the riders. Compact sorts... Hey? Compact soil? What are you talking about, Willis? Oh, we then got Sweden out. Is that... I'm guessing it's Uddevalla. I don't think Sweden have another big one, do they? You're guessing it's Uddevalla for Sweden. I love Uddevalla so much. I love Sweden in general. Maybe I should move to Sweden at some point. Looks nice. The women are lovely. The men are lovely as well, to be honest. Luscious blonde locks of hair. Godis is from there. Godis is a W. Smigdamp's from there. Smiggy's a W. JV's from there. Hell Machine's from there. Mate, Sweden's great, coming to think about it. Sweden's insane. And you're drone scanning... Wait, you're drone scanning it for this series? Has JV got a drone, or are you shipping him yours? Damn. So there you go, boys. We're going to get an actual scanned track for round number 9 of this series, which is good stuff. So that's going to do it for me today. The NA qualifying starts in 2 hours and 17 minutes. So best of luck if you're doing NA. As we know, I'm not doing NA because I got kicked out of it. But it is what it is. Oh, hope you've had a good stream. My voice feels a little bit strained. I'm going to disappear. I need to try and get an early bedtime tonight and try and sort my sleeping pattern out, because I'm meant to be going riding on Wednesday again, which I'm excited for. It's been almost a month, I think, since last time I went. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, everyone. Appreciate it as always, and I'll catch you all